Silent John incremental, another silent instrumental, the nerd rap existential. People compare me to MC Christopher a lot, but the fact is I predicted with significance. I'm the oldest geek rapper by far, save K&R, compiling kernels, open bracket, cause I rack it. And my teen nerds throw your laser pen in the air and wave it all around like you had no repercussions. Now follow instructions, Professor. Why these discussions consist of nothing but incoherent rambling and babbling, but you just still take notes cause you never know what's happening. I'll drop a little nugget, a tidbit if you will. There were 4 United States presidents named Bill. Really? If you run out of hit points, the game will shout.
Your life force is running out.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life, yeah. Let me start again, put it on like a cardigan, swinging like my name was Mad Mardigan, which reminds me, Warwick Davis was Willow and a knee walk, Leonard Nimoy was Galvatron and Spock. That ain't typecast, I don't know what it. Talk about predestiny, nobody gets the best of me. I've only played one role my whole lifetime, the nerd lifeline, stream through a wicked pipeline. So no one can buy mine, cause mine is original and I write rhymes to burn on a CD, play in the mini V. Soccer mom, yodel back, yodel at little me. I got a sidekick, I gotta stay connected. Watch out for my decom or you'll get infected. And you don't wanna be one of my bots, cause I see it all like Sauron the Cyclops. And I won't hesitate to drop your whole net block if you're acting up and you're dumber than a pet rock. I'm about this nerd life, as you can see, spreading like a virus on MP3. On MP3. STC. Shoutouts to Vic, Agnostic One, up in Silent John. Yeah. Nerd Life, Graphing Calculator, HP48G. The G is for gangster. Digital shit, yeah. You know how we do.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. And of course, that was YT Cracker singing Dig Dug. Lovely song donated to us. He said, hey, go ahead, use it. You guys are awesome. I love you. I love the show. I love all the things you're doing. So feel free to use my music to introduce your program. And of course, joining me, as always, is the Too Hot Scott himself, Finbar Saunders. Saunders, not Sanders. What's up, Finbar?
And not Finbear. What Gen X called me. Yeah, not bad, Tony. How are you?
I'm good.
Didn't somebody say that before about the music? You can use it whenever you want, and then you ended up getting a copyright claim.
Oh yeah, I just had to go through some, YouTube stuff. Yeah, the bigger issue with the other music was all the swear words in the first, was it like 8 seconds of the video?
Yeah,
that was kind of killing us on ad revenue. But we'll just go back to this. I got to do some new music before we can for the gaming stuff, because all I got is this, the Gabbing with Geeks with the music. I don't have the Gaming with Geeks with music. And Tommy Amico did donate some lovely music for us, so I got to get back to using it because I do like the song. I do like what Tommy did. Anyway, how was your week, Mr. Saunders?
It was good. Yeah. I don't know if everybody caught it, but I have now stepped into the big time. I had an interview with Gen X a couple of days ago.
We watched that live.
We did. We watched it live. I don't know if you noticed, I also clipped out the part where we watched it live, and hopefully we can do a reaction to that reaction
in the near future
at some point. Apart from that, yeah, we had a game of Magic the Gathering last night. I fought in Gary's honor, failed him miserably, and he hasn't got back to me yet. I think he's in a huff. I don't think he's happy. Is he?
Yeah, I haven't heard from Gary at all. He didn't even say anything after
he's ignoring us now because
I said, "Come on, Gary, let's play some Magic." He's no answer, nothing.
Yeah, I'll let him down. Sorry, Gary.
I know the Magic the Gathering is not our most popular streams, but I really do. I enjoy the game. I like it. It's very methodical. You got to think. You got to strategize.
It sinks these streams like Titanic, man.
People watching
honestly, we've got to find something more exciting, and it's good having a go at that every now and again. But we've got to find something we can get the whole community in on. It'll be great. This one-on-one stuff maybe not the greatest. We need to have a big think.
We'll get something. You know, I'm looking at Gary's Twitter right now, by the way, and 12 hours ago he did use Twitter to answer something. He was replying to Jim Acosta.
So he is deliberately ignoring us all now. We've failed him.
Yeah, so he's alive. He just hasn't said anything to us in a while.
I'm glad he's alive. His honor is not alive, but at least he is.
Yeah, and Hammock Man just let us know that he's running late and he'll be here as soon as he can.
Well, when he tags in, depending on what time he gets here, I may have to tag out at some point. So just prior warning. I think Slopes said he'll jump in.
Well, I sent Slopes a link. If Slopes wanted to jump in, I said if you're feeling up to it, you can go ahead and jump on in. And
because I said some stuff about Slopes, and maybe he wants to. I don't know if he knows me or who I am. I hope not.
56K1, he says we should replace Gary with a broken crank.
Gary is a crank.
Yeah. So, other than the loss at Magic the Gathering, anything interesting happened this week? I know you said the old lady has COVID.
No, she had. She's recovered, but she's still coughing her guts up.
Well, if she's still coughing, I'm pretty sure she probably still has. I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination, but
no, she's negative. I haven't caught it, so at least I don't think I have. So, I mean, not yet. I probably will, knowing how bad it's going around at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully you're.
You haven't caught it yet, have you?
I've never caught it. Never got vaccinated either.
Unvaccinated and never caught COVID.
And I go outside all the time. I go to work. I take public transportation. I'm always touching things, licking doorknobs. Never got COVID.
Sleeping with lots of women.
Of questionable ethics? Yeah. Oh, we got a special guest. DJ Slopes himself. Look at that.
How's it going, peeps?
Or should I say morning Slopes?
Morning Slopes, yeah, man. It's like it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:15 in the morning here in the UK. Hey, and look, I'm all unshaven. I'm not ready to be on a podcast or anything, man. You know.
It's all right. Nobody watches it anyway.
Yeah. We only got like 8 people watching. Don't worry.
It's all good. Oh, hang on. I can hear myself. I just got.
How's the video? How's the video coming along?
Well, the video hasn't started yet.
You're playing that, man.
Sorry to say that to everyone. No, yeah, it's all been about the research, all been about the script writing, that sort of thing.
Because I've been saying, Slopes, your redemption arc is not complete until that video releases, and it needs to be good.
Well, no, actually, I think the last time I was in this chat, my redemption arc wouldn't be complete until I come on this.
Yeah.
No. I said this was part of it.
Oh, I see. There we go.
There are many parts that will make up your redemption, Slopes.
I feel like I'm never going to get there.
No, you will.
But I'm
Everybody
okay
does.
with that.
Like
I'm okay
if Smash can beat, if Smash and Retro Bro and all that can get redemption, of course you can.
Have they all got redemption? I mean, I don't know how people look.
I don't know how Tony feels about Smash at the moment. I don't know how any of the panel feel, but I'm alright with Smash, and I like John.
Yeah. He's always been nice to me. He's always been nice to me, Smash. You know what it was, right? So Smash, back in the day, appeared on. I invited him on to like my podcast as like a guest one week, and at the end, I don't know if it went live or it was just something he said like, afterwards, and we was in like the private chat bit. He, you remember when he said he was leaving YouTube?
Yeah, several times.
He said that several times, I think.
Oh, okay. So the first big time he said he was leaving YouTube, I like to hide people in my videos. And I did a GoldenEye video, and I always one of the easy ways I hide people is when I have like one transition, and I'll just spin the picture around, and in that like half a second where it spins, I like to hide people behind like in the background, and I had a little picture of him down the side, and I said, "We'll miss you, man," or something like that, and it was like months later, and he said he was on a treadmill or something like that. I don't know, like he was working out. Or a cross train or whatever he was on, and he said he saw it, and he's like, "Thank you so much, that was amazing." And I think that I've really like caught him by doing it. I don't tell people I do this. I just hide people in my videos all the time. So yeah, I think I won him over that day.
And
He's
then
always been cool with me. He's always been cool with me. He's helped me out of this Amico video in the sense that, you know, I said like, "Ooh, notice you deleted that." He's like, "Yeah, here you go," and he just gives it to me. He ain't got no problems. He knows he's getting not called out, but he knows he's part of the story. You know.
He spoke about when he went up to, I don't know what headquarters it was. He went to. Do you know the one they had that thing, that machine where they shook the controller up and all that? Where was that, Tony? Do you remember? He went for a.
Yeah, I know you're on about.
Visit.
That was the first.
He said
the second big office after their small back of a pizza joint office.
Yeah, when he went there and he did that guided tour, Tommy took him around and he said that he filmed stuff that he said he filmed extra stuff that he deleted, well, not deleted, but he didn't include in his videos because he thought it would embarrass them, and then he tried to dig it back up when he jumped off the wagon and he couldn't find it.
Wow.
He said it was on a hard drive somewhere. If only we could
found
have seen
some
that
of it.
footage.
You have actually just reminded me of something that I need to put into my notes.
So I get credit in your video then, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Special thanks, member Saunders, for reminding me of something that needed to get in this video.
It's a timeline video, so it goes through dates, and at the end of every single date, I say a big thanks to you.
There's
real quick. I got to cut Finbar off as he's fanboying over DJ Slopes here.
I hate him. No, hold on a minute. I called him a wank, and I stick by that until this video comes out. He doesn't get redemption until the final part of his redemption arc's finished, and that's this video.
It. Exactly.
Well, that's what I was going to ask about.
Oh no, I've actually put the thing I'm thinking about. I put in there today. I just checked.
All right. Well, there's going to be a lot of people watching this, people who watch the replay. They want to know the big question, Slopes. They want to know: are you going to address your part in the whole fiasco, the interview that you did with Tommy, and the subsequent video in which you defended the Amico and saying that it was a great children's console and all the other things?
Yeah. Basically, it's a timeline video. So I've injected myself into the timeline. So my initial thought was wouldn't it be fucking awesome if I'm like part of the conversation? And then this way, when I eventually make this video, whether it comes out or it doesn't, it's still an incredible story leading up to its demise or its release, whatever happens. Wouldn't it be great if I'm like part of that? And woo, my wish came true.
So you're saying you did that shell interview so you could put yourself in your own Kick Scammers video? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I wanted to. I wanted to be a part of it. It was just at the time. I tell you what, like at the time, I mean, I was fanboying out. It's Tommy Tallarico. I know it's ridiculous to think that now.
It was ridiculous to think that back then too. Come on.
I'm being honest. I'm being honest with you guys. Like I've got nothing to hide. I was in my mindset. It was the right thing to do at the time. And then it's one of those things that I look back and I've recorded all of my conversations. I've not recorded as in like my video conversations, but I've backed up everything I've ever spoken about with Tommy, which actually for the most part wasn't anything to do with the Amico itself. It was more to do with like music and stuff.
And that fucking Tony TGD.
Yeah, you might have been brought up. I'm not there. Maybe. But you can see how before anything's even happened, whether the interview, and I've got the games, which are I've got a blurred screen there behind me. You can just see them there. There they are. There they are. You can see
marks when you see games. You got to put your fingers up and do quote marks.
Yeah, that's it. I'm 100% going to be saying why I did it at the time and why it took so long. You know, like I just thought to myself, it'd be fucking good if I can be a part of this, because it doesn't really matter if it's obviously I want it to be a success, but it doesn't matter if it's a success or not. This means I'm part of it, and I become part of the story, which is a true thing that's happened. But what I didn't really think about was how he was using me as a way to promote his product, and not just me, but he's actually selling that product to my audience. And I mean, I don't know if a certain hardcore supporter came off the back of my videos, but I don't remember him being so in love with the Amico before I did my interviews. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Are we talking about Slider?
Maybe.
Well, Hammock Man was here briefly, but then he decided.
Who was that was just joining in?
It was Hammy.
That was Hammock Man.
Hammock Man.
Yeah. Days Gaming.
Okay. Let me. I'm just going to do a quick search. I'm subscribed to like 500 odd people, and I'm sure I had a big old session watching loads of Days Gaming. I'm sure it's Days Gaming. He like does it in
You will have
yeah,
seen him. Yeah.
Hammock Man.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
100%. Yeah. Hello, Hammock Man. I've totally watched your stuff. I am.
He was confused. He saw Slopes and thought he was on the wrong channel. That's what it was.
No, I have internet issues. So yes, you watch my stuff, Slopes? Really? Wow, that's
I have done in the past. I haven't seen it for a while. It's just the way it goes, though, isn't it? Like sometimes YouTube just stops. Like,
oh, he stopped making content.
You've seen enough of that person, and you're not going to look anymore. Now I've just looked. I'm not subscribed. Maybe I wasn't subscribed, but I've definitely watched a lot of your videos. I'm sure I was subscribed.
Is it a new channel, Days?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped making videos for a bit, but I'm back and changed my name up. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I hear you're making an Amico video.
Yeah, there you are. Slope's interview of Tommy Talarico. I've just found it. Yeah. Yeah. I've said I'll make it for the longest time. I'm glad I've waited this long, if I'm honest. Get the head straight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh,
right.
Did you tear Slopes a new asshole as well for that interview?
No, I don't think so.
I think everyone was fair. I tell you what. Like, this is it, right? I get a lot of flack for it now. You go back and watch it. For the most part, the live commentary, apart from like the obvious, there's a couple of people in there that was like, "This is fucking shit" from beginning to end. Most people are actually on my side. Like, if you look at the live commentary, the live chat. Yeah.
You understand, the people who were coming into that live chat during that interview were the ones that were after watching Tommy. It wouldn't have been the critics.
Well, no, I had a lot of people in there that were saying, "Oh, wow, I can't believe Slopes asked that question or whatever." Because for the most part, they weren't my questions. They were questions that I asked. I put out on like the YouTube feed and stuff like that, and Twitter, and yeah. I said, like, what questions do you want asked? And then I tried to condense them down and take out the cunty ones, obviously. Sorry.
Demonetize our channel.
Demonetize now.
Oh, you got to be extra careful now on YouTube. No, I've just did that, but now you've actually got to be extra careful on YouTube, haven't you? Actually, yeah.
Well, here's a question I got. I know a lot of people I want to know, and I'm not sure it's going to be in the documentary that you make. But how do you feel now? Would you have asked the same questions? Would you have asked some of those cunty questions?
100% no. 100% no. Because at the end of the day, like, I didn't know what I know now. I mean. So you get brought up a few times in the video, Tony. You know what? In fact, I'm actually going to say this here. This is an exclusive for the podcast. Oh man, I've heard him say that 1,000 times. There's a few people that are helping me in regards to fact checking. Oh, by the way, did you realize that this happened and blah blah blah? So the way the video is going to get structured, let me try and explain how this is going to work. I'm jumping all over the place. So yeah, there's a few people I'm going to that are asking that are helping me out with this, and I don't know if you've mentioned this already, Tony, but you are one of the main people that I'm going to. Said, have you looked at this? Have you looked at this? Not so. Yeah, I mean, I don't care if people know that, because I'm also, I mean, if people class you as a hater, because I know there's a lot of people out there that would look at you as more on the hater side of things. I'm actually going to people on the complete opposite end of the spectrum as well, and they're giving me evidence. And as you know, Tony, from our chats that we've had, some of the stuff you've given me, I say I can't put that in the video because one, there's not evidence of it, it doesn't work with the narrative of the video. So and I say the same thing to the other people I'm speaking to on the other end of the spectrum. So I'm trying to get it as factual as possible, because there's no other way I can go into this. There's no other way. I can't go into this in being 100% negative, because at one point I was very positive about the system. I can't go in there 100% positive because it's not true that to go down that route. So I have to be, these are the facts. This is a timeline series of events. Sometimes I give my opinion throughout the video, but these are the facts, and the facts speak for themselves. It's one of those things I try and find the good. Okay, I've bashed this now for about 7 months, and I'm like, and then they did a really nice sponsorship for this, or anyway, back to smashing them for like 7 months or something, because it's just that was how it timelined out. But anyway, let me explain how the video is going to go for people that are interested. If you're interested in knowing, a good example would be if you go back and watch my Vega Plus video, the Vega Plus scandal. I think it's my most popular video on my channel, actually. I'm not sure, but it'll be like that. but a lot more advanced. I'm a much better YouTuber now. Like the way I edit and the way I mix things up. I'm on camera now, and I wasn't back then, so I can keep the flow quite interesting. So basically, yeah, I'll do an intro, and then I'll say welcome to Kick Scammers, blah blah, and then the video will properly start, probably about a minute in. So I really want to get past that quickly because the rest of the video is about I don't know how long it'll be, 2, 3, 4 hours long. So who are Intellivision? Talk about that. Go back through the history of Intellivision, leading up to who Keith Robinson is. Who's this Tommy Tallarico guy? Blah blah blah. And we start, and then their stories collide. Their lives connect a little bit, and then it goes to that, and then eventually it gets to a point when I think it's. I can tell you the exact date. The document is fucking enormous.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You have seen it. It is enormous. The final script folder is 100 pages long, and it's going to need to be a little bit longer than that. But the research folder is 200 pages long.
Wow.
Yeah, a document. It's absurd. So I don't want to do a screen share in case you see my haters folder. Right. So yeah, it starts on the 29th. It starts on the 29th of May 2018, and then from that point on, the video will be very formulaic. In the middle of the screen, you're going to see another screen, and basically all the evidence is going to be revealed onto that. But instead of me saying the 29th of May 2018, the 30th of May 2018, the 30th, because that would just be boring. That would just literally be a ticker written at the top of the screen, so I can tell the story, and it will just flick as I go through it. That'll be that. But then it's going to get to a point when, okay, these are the things that are coming on this upcoming system before it was even announced to be called the Amico. And then the camera will zoom back a little bit, and you'll see obviously that the screen that was in the middle of the screen will be obviously further in the middle, and then next to the screen there'll be like either a typewriter or a printer. I need to play around with the design, and the claims are going to go come up. And then the more claims that get added, and then actually it's going to do this. It's going to keep going up, and it's going to keep going up until eventually that bit of paper is going to be so ridiculously sky high, it's going to make it like become a bit of a joke. And then as it goes on, he said, because another almost funnier thing for me is the amount of games that are going to be announced for this system or things. Wouldn't that be something? On my list in my Wonka book, all that sort of stuff, that's going to be on the other side of the TV. So so I'm gonna have to basically edit the whole thing. Then I'm going to have to put that finished product into another rendered video and put that inside the video, inside the TV screen. And then I'm going to have to put that again into another rendered program where I can then slide it between the printer and back to the screen and back to the printer. And it's going to be like that for the remaining 3 hours or whatever. But mix that in with a couple of little skits of me coming on camera, mix that up with obviously people doing voiceovers for Tommy himself or random people that have talked, people that have fought back at him on the Atari Age forums, whatever it may be. It's been a lot of research. I've been focused. I need to get that video done for maybe a year or so. But I think it was about November. I really thought to myself, no, I'm going to get this done. Let's get this done so I can get it out for December. And I realized like halfway through December, I don't even know if this is coming out in January. This is such a mental project.
Yeah.
My desk, there's just coffee cups all over where I'm just up all the fucking time. Coke cans, just like
his maid needs to get fired.
It's bonkers, mate. And yeah, there we go.
All right, so real quick, they're saying that I'm letting Slopes do a Tommy, that I'm not getting a word in. No, just let him talk.
I'm not even looking at the chat actually. Let's have a look at
don't look.
That Millipede, that's actually that fucking Tony TGD guy.
That wasn't me though. That wasn't me. But anyway,
you told me, yeah.
Real quick, we got some comments, and I want to say something.
Yeah,
I've known there are people saying, "Oh, Slopes is now just doing the video because of the H Bomber guy video."
No, we've been talking on for maybe a couple of years, I think. I mean, I don't care if people want to think that. I generally don't mind. There's only really one person I can think of that's an ultimate dick. That's just like, come on, mate. Like that's going out of their way to spread misinformation about me.
Names.
No, fuck him. He gets a little stab in the video. Don't worry. Like hidden. Like I don't want to shine a light on him. But
private chat, please.
Yeah, I will. But I mean, yeah, that people think like, you know, I've done it for this particular reason, or you know, like they've taken something I've said a different way than what I meant it, or the fact that they just weren't happy with how I did the interview or how I handled the whole situation. 100%, I don't hold any grudges to any of those people whatsoever. Obviously, I don't like people spreading misinformation about me saying I'm an investor and all that shit, which obviously I'm not.
The only reason people probably said that, the reason
no, but I would then come to people and say, no, I'm not. Here's the proof, and it would continue. And I'm like, but I've proven that I'm not. Like,
but you get the optics of the interview you did with him, and at the time you did it. The reason why everybody was a bit pissed off at the way you did it is because you had the benefit of hindsight when a lot of people who interviewed him before didn't. And
there was a lot of information out there already.
Yeah,
you could have,
for
I
sure.
mean, you could have questioned him a lot harder than you did.
There was a lot more information out. I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
Yeah,
that's
what,
things.
I'm pretty sure I said that in my video, that I don't think that about you is I don't think you realized the minefield that you stepped in when you got into this Amico, which I don't.
Oh mate,
I didn't either. I didn't either.
Know what I was getting into, but not at the same time. I just didn't realize it would turn out the way it did. Like I thought to myself, it would be a good idea to do this because that means I get injected into it. But I just didn't realize, fuck me, there's so much behind this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's actually really embarrassing because I get into the story quite late on, and obviously by that point we're probably let's say it's a 4-hour video. I don't think it'll be that long, but who knows? Say it's a 4-hour video. When we get to 3.5 hours of me just doing nothing but bashing, okay, and then I decided I would support him, and it's just like so. I've got this funny skit where I get egg on my face and stuff.
Slopes, did you not follow any of it really before that interview? Then did you come into that interview
like a little bit, but I think it's one of those things. It's like I say this in the interview as well. Like, in my video, there's this one bit where I say, "Look, you guys probably think it's ridiculous me saying every time he mentions a game, I have to add it to the list." You know, even though it's obviously not being worked on. But the important thing is, and then I show another comment from the Atari Age forum, because he said elevator actions coming for the Amico. Someone said, "Wow, that's incredible. I'm going to put down a pre-order." They said something to that effect. He said so much amazing stuff. Like, you know, he's got the Earthworm Gym team back together. That was a massive win for me. Like, those games are my youth. Like, I did art contests at school to do with Earthworm Gym. I was in love with the Shiny Entertainment team. I went out and got Enter the Matrix Day 1. Not the greatest game, but you know, I was really into really into the Shiny Boys and Tommy Tallarico. Like, I think I knew Tommy Tallarico's name before I knew who like I'm like Yu Suzuki and people like that were. Like, I was like hardcore into like his music and stuff, or what I thought was his music at the time.
Joey's music.
I think that happened. I think that happened to a lot of the people who are the quote unquote in the cult. I believe they just kind of all were duped by what they believed. They believed the man. They believed that he had all this experience and that he just came with all this clout. And what was the saying that they said over and over again? People would say, like, has Tommy ever failed at anything? So you just like believed that this was going to be something real, and a lot of people did, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of things I saw. Like, for instance, I wasn't like heavily watching or listening to like people like Pat and Ian, but I remember there was like one time. I mean, I obviously knew there was a little bit of like, oh, should this happen? Oh, it's been delayed again. A few little annoying things like that. And I remember once I tuned into Pat and Ian, and they were talking about him being Italian, but not knowing what the real pizza was or something. And I'm like, the fuck are these people on about? Like, this is just bullshit at this point. And I remember even saying it to Tommy and other people. Like, I don't mind being being open about it, but like, hearing stuff like that and thinking, like, when you start hearing shit like that, the real criticism just gets thrown out the window, because that proves to me that they're just after fucking anything and everything to take him down, because now they're moaning about his pizza flavors. Like, come on. But then it's the reason I brought up that one game. If that man realized that he'd also promised another 150 games before Elevator Action, he'd probably think, hang on a minute, it's probably ain't going to happen. I heard that one thing and I'm thinking, I haven't heard all of the other stuff that's come before it. You just hear little bits here and there, and I heard more positive than I heard negative, unfortunately, but primarily because I was talking to Tommy Tallarico, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, we got some questions for you, Slope. So I
go for it. I don't know how long I'll stay on, because like I say, it's like
that's why I wanted to get to it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, so Tommy Uyumiko says, tell Slopes I need a shout out for my album and his video so I can make 1K and his redemption arc will be complete.
Okay.
Another step.
I mean, I mention like as a proper passing mention, but I mentioned DJC. So yeah, chuck me your details, mate. Because that you're on about the I know what you're talking about. Yeah, we'll get it sorted.
Yeah. All right, 5681 says, "Don't be sad, Slopes. Remember that no one will top the sheer amount of shilling Review Tech USA did."
He gets a mention, obviously. Obviously, they all do because it's a timeline video. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sad. Like I always wanted to make this video. I'm going to make this video, and I said to Tommy, I said maybe I said it in an interview or I said it off camera. I don't know, but I definitely said to him, if this thing turns out to be a scam, you do know a kick scammer video is going to get made, don't you? He's like, and I'll help you make it.
Has he helped you?
Yeah.
Where is he now?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, like I haven't spoken to him about the Amico for an incredibly long time.
Yeah, and you won't be able to.
Yeah, if you're talking to us,
but I mean,
you're not gonna
like
be able to talk
since
to
then,
him.
I mean, we've hardly spoken since then. But since then, it's more been me like, "Hey, dude, I hope you're doing okay with things that's going on in his life and stuff like that." But like, and he would message back and say like, "Oh, thank you so much for thinking of me and things like that." But he gave me David Perry's details, which I never ended up doing anything with actually, because I was working on a video that was related to him that had nothing to do with this. So maybe I'm not.
You should ask David Perry. Here's what you should do, Slopes, because David Perry apparently has a lot of money. You should ask him why, if he was so behind the Amico, why hasn't he invested more money to get them across the finish line? Why did they need to go to a public crowdfunding if you got people like David Perry involved?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've never spoken to the man before. He's commented on a couple of videos. I think if you go back to my MDK complete history, you see Tommy and what's his name, David Perry and stuff like that commenting on the video. But yeah, even then, I'd never spoken to Tommy. So.
All right, Justy View says, wasn't Slopes the only person that absolutely loved the physical product? Even Lady Decade hated the physical product.
Yeah. So there's a few exaggerations there. I didn't love the physical product. I believe I even said in the video that I wish it was a cartridge CD thing or whatever. But I'll tell you what I'm obsessed with: obscure hardware. I fucking love, like, the iToy comes out, the Connect, and really obscure shit. I've got up there like a box never opened, still in their cellophane wrapping. I'll show you actually. It's right next to my Atari VCS.
The other not scam console.
Yeah. Oh, you can't see it, but yeah, it's. Why have I got this fucking blur thing on? Yeah, so it's Sonic Jam for the game.com, still in its shrink wrap, never been opened. Just because I love obscure shit like this. I think it's so fucking cool. I don't know how to turn. Oh, virtual background, none. There we go. Hey, there we go.
Hey.
So yeah, I just love obscure stuff. And even though I would prefer to have like cartridges on the shelf or CDs, whatever it may be, the fact that this is going to be some weird RFID thing that's probably going to die one day in the future, that just is so appealing to me for like a really obscure thing. And I wanted to see how it turned out. And I had spoken to journalists. I'm sure you can put two and two together. I'm talking about here. I don't want to make them drop their name in it anymore. But that said, like, they could see the positives as well. And they said, look, I have been on camera with Tommy and I've seen this thing working. And that was one of the things that made me think that, how can all these people keep saying it's a scam? People have played this thing. People have gone to these fucking... I know you guys are sniggering, but I'm being honest, that I'm putting yourself in the mindset of what it was like at the time. Like, I'm just trying to be honest.
Yeah.
At the time, people were going to these events and playing on an Amico, and I was only hearing positive stuff. So I'm like, you hear all these people like, I don't want to name names, but like all these other YouTubers that were playing it, and I'm like, have you played it? And they're like, yeah, it's really good. I'm like, this is so weird. And then you're seeing, I mean, I'm not trying to down small channels or anything, but then you have all these people that haven't played it that are hating on it, but then all these people that have played on it seem to really like it. And I'm like,
got at least two here. Now.
It's crazy.
We've got Max here in the chat, and we also had John, like the Retro Bro, earlier on. They both played it. John ran an event for Tommy the Crayola event. I don't know if you've spoken to either of these guys. They've played it. And
Oh, well,
even now,
Retro Bro.
yeah, even now they
Yeah,
don't
I've
know
spoken to
that
Retro
what they
about this.
played was, even now they don't know what they played was the hardware that was going to be released.
Oh
to
no,
retail.
I don't disagree that, you know, like that there's no way that inside that was going to be even if it wasn't a scam, it wouldn't have been the final build anyway. Like, yeah, you know, 100%. It was obviously, for all intents and purposes, a dev unit. You know, they've got something in there. You know, it's probably literally the inside of an old iPhone 2.
It was probably just an iPhone 2 inside a case. He didn't even open it up
Exactly.
for the guts.
But the fact is, they'd done something and they'd got it to work, and it was working. And you know, go look at my channel. My channel is all about the history of video games. This console was bringing new versions of old games. And if you go look at my Steam library, all I tend to play is like games that are like old games. Like that's is what I'm obsessed with.
Yeah, all right,
It was
so,
like in an ideal world, if this thing come out, I am the 100% the ideal person to sell it to.
well, that's exactly what Larry said when I asked him about the Amico. He said he wants obscure games and he loves it and he thinks this was a unique, weird idea.
Yeah,
so people who think that you and Larry are different people, they're wrong. You're the exact same person.
Yeah, it must be.
Sweet and Tender wants to know, do you like the Smiths?
They're all right. I haven't really got too much more to add to that. I'm a bit more hardcore.
Ooh. He also wants to know, were you on board for the Coleco Chameleon?
No.
You were for the VCS though.
No, I mean, no, I wasn't. No, I mean, I
You've
just
got
like
one.
I've got one because it was it's not mine actually. It was sent to me to do a video on a kick scammer video, and every so often I get a message, when are you going to do that video? I went, yeah, I'll get to that video. I've got to get to that video. I played it once. I plugged it in like not long after it came out, and what was hilarious is I could only play like the games he downloaded because it wasn't mine. I didn't want to put all my details in. But what I did do is I downloaded Antstream, and it's fucking ridiculous. So I pulled up the on-screen keyboard, but some of the special characters, you know how passwords all need special characters, like wasn't on there, so I couldn't even log in. It was like missing. I'm like, this is such a shit console. But what I will say is actually the controller for the Atari VCS, the classic joystick, is amazing. But obviously only for those games. Like, it is so good.
We have a good friend on the panel, Bob, who unboxed that very joystick live one night and wanted to throw it against the fucking wall. So he would, I think he disagrees.
Oh, really? I tell you what, I played it. I mean, obviously, you go play an old Atari 2600 controller. It's fucking horrible.
He actually just backed it for that controller. I mean, he didn't get the console. All he got was that joystick.
Oh,
And
wow. I thought it was pretty
he had it
good.
in the box for months and then unboxed it and commented.
I was well impressed with it. I mean, granted, I've not played it a lot, but I've plugged that into my PC and played that more than the one time I've played on the VCS. So,
all right. So John the Retro Bro wants to know, did Tommy promise you anything?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah, of course. No, he did actually. Yeah, he said that he was going to come to the UK when he eventually does come to the UK. Ah, yes, he did. Yeah, okay. This is coming back to me a little. Do I mention this in the video? I can't remember. So, without going into like our private conversations and stuff, one of the things I think it was more me suggesting it to him. So I have a studio. You've probably seen it with the big neon light behind me and stuff. So I'm in my office right now. But yeah, that room is actually an old converted double garage. So it's quite nice and spacious in there. It's all got heating in, it's all like nice walls. And the good thing about it is no windows, so you can control the lighting beautifully. And I've got like these curtains that can be pulled down from the ceiling, so you can try and block sound, get better sound stuff in there. And someone recently actually filmed a little bit of a documentary in there to reenact a kid's bedroom from the 90s when they're opening like an old Super Nintendo. It's quite a cool little thing. It's like a proper documentary, not like some YouTube video. Yeah, I said to Tommy, like, hey, when you do come to the so he said to me, I think originally, when I come to the UK, I'll let you play in the Amico, and obviously I really want to show it to you, blah blah blah. I think what the appealing thing was for him is that I have got a daughter that's 5.
She's all grown up now by that time.
To be fair, she would have been about 3 or 4 then. So yeah, and then I've got an older son that's about 7, so he would have been about 6, maybe 5 then. And then obviously me and my wife. And we do tend to play like Mario Kart, and we play on the Wii U. We generally still have a Wii U set up in the living room. We only have a Wii U, an Xbox, and a Switch set up in the living room because we like to play like those Nintendo Life games. Not Nintendo Life, Nintendo Land games. And he just saw this and he was like, wow, like, you target audience, and I said, well, look, you come down and come do some filming in the garage, in the game room. And he really liked that. So that was like, I don't know if it was a promise, but it was very much, it was going to happen. Other than that, it was just like, I really want to get you the console. We talked about music and stuff. I think there was a little bit of like, if you need me to help you promote it and stuff, which I never asked him to.
All right. 1 Inch Biceps was a big fan of your Castlevania collection video. He wants to know, did you enjoy interviewing Tommy?
Yeah, like no, I mean,
he didn't enjoy the fallout.
Sure,
for sure. No, yeah, you got that right. No, I don't know. It was like, so it was agreed. I don't know if it was agreed on on a call or if we did it on our messages or whatever. But it was agreed it would be 2 hours. I'm talking part 1 and part 2. It was about 5. So.
I remember that now. I remember saying in my video that I could see your face. You were just like, oh my God, this is just dragging on and on.
Well, which one of you agreed to the 2 hours? Was it your idea for 2 hours or his?
So,
because I've seen him do like 4 or 5 hours. That's what I was thinking.
There's no fucking way Tommy would agree to only limit himself to 2 hours.
Well, he can't even help himself. He's just got to go. Keep talking if someone will listen.
Here's my address. He introduces me to Hans. It's the first time the original. So the day they announced the physical products was the first day we spoke, or the day after. It was around then, and I sent him a message on Facebook. Hey Tommy, I think you may have seen some of my videos before. Obviously, I knew he did. Do you want to send me some of these games, and I'd like to do a video. And it was originally going to be, I'll send you one. And then here's my email, and then it went from there. So. There's my address. He introduced me to Hans, who I didn't know who he was at the time. Obviously, I do now. I think he's probably the only person that has actually like really gave it his all for the system, potentially. Like that's how I see it anyway. So you got Hans, and then you got Teresa, blah blah blah, and it keeps going on. Thank you. Here's your address. Instantly before the video goes out, he's trying to tell me I saw the quick video you put out about the upcoming unboxing and notifying. I haven't looked at this for so long. I saw the quick video you put out about the upcoming unboxing and notifying folks if they have any questions, if you need any answers or clarification. Unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there. Let me know. A lot of that sort of stuff. I'm sure there was something. So I asked him, do you want to do an interview? I'm just trying to see. It might have been me.
Let's just keep it under 2 days. Let's try to do a 1-day interview.
On top of this, I did get my audience to answer a few questions for you regarding this new type of game media. After all unboxings have dropped, I would love to do a live interview where we get those questions answered. So that was talking about the Amico. So there is something about the box auditions that we haven't told anyone. Blah blah blah. Obviously, you have to give me a little exclusive interview. Exclusive, even in the email chain.
That was all that extra security they put on the RFID.
I tell you what, though, right? I'm not trying to defend myself because I definitely should have gone harder. I will fucking hands down say it. But so let's role play and try not to play devil's advocate. You've got to put yourself in the mindset of me at the time as someone that didn't know as much as I did. I say, right. So Tommy, is there something else on this card other than URL, blah, 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 whatever it was? And he's like, yes. Can you tell us what it is? That's a stupid question. No. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm like, please, like, I mean, I can't really, I just, you don't want to compare this man to Nintendo and stuff, because obviously he always tells you not to, but I wouldn't be able to continue that if I was speaking to anyone. You know what I mean?
Well, to push back on you a little, I would have done the
please
research.
Feel free.
I would have done the research.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know. You had the games at the time, didn't you?
But when I did the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd already done the unboxings by that point.
Okay, so I also had the games, and as soon as I got the games, the first thing I did was get an RFID reader and read what was on the cards. And I
Yeah,
knew
well,
for a
I mean,
fact
I'd al-
100% there was nothing else on the cards. There was no other information.
Well, yeah, that's it. So okay, this is good. So you've said that you've done an RFID. I didn't use an RFID reader, but by that point, people had already found that information out and put it on that what you call it, the subreddit.
Yeah.
So I had the same information that you had. So we've both now got that question. You reckon there's something else on this card, don't you, Tommy? And he says, yes. Tell us what's on that card. That's a stupid question. And you're like, but he said he can't. Oh, what was the answer he gave? He said something like, I'm not in the position to tell you what else is on there. But
do you think he didn't know? Do you think he just didn't know what was on it?
You know what? I genuinely do think that he believes what he's saying. You know what I mean? I genuinely do believe it.
We've kind of established that from his book.
Yeah.
That he reads.
I really, even now, even after writing all of this stuff, like in really going down the timeline, getting really nitty gritty on all of the dates, I still sit there and think, did he lie to me, or did he genuinely think that there was something else on there?
He genuinely thought.
He believes that he can will it into existence if he says it. Basically,
what I will say is I do think he lied in the fact that he could possibly tell me what that extra thing is on there, because I think even he didn't know, you know what I mean? But I think he believed, but I don't think, I'm 50-50. I think there is a chance that he genuinely does think that there was something else on there.
Well, here's what I'm under the belief of. I believe that people seen how stupid Tommy was within the company. And when Tommy would have a question like that, like, hey, they're saying that, there's nothing on this card, there's no security. And they probably say, no, Tommy, don't worry. We put something on there. And Tommy goes, okay. And he just believed whatever he was told.
Yeah, he was played from the inside.
In that instance, right, there's no way it's 100%. If you scan it with an RFID reader, it tells you everything on there. If there's encrypted data, it'll let you know, hey, there's encrypted data on there, whatever. But it's literally just a URL.
In my head, when he said that, I thought to myself, there must be something that's being read on there, some other thing. I just don't know. That must be reading something else that isn't RFID related. I don't know. Like, he just told me there is something else on there, and I'm like, okay, I just think that I'm not going to tell you.
His whole like brain reset reaction was enough to go, wait a minute, something's wrong here.
But obviously, yes, but you are coming in it from a critical eye. At that point, I was already like been told by him himself, like, ignore especially you, the Tony TGDs of the world. Yeah.
Real quick, Sweet and Tender says, Slopes, do you think Amico started out as a scam?
No, I don't believe it did. I really, really don't believe I did, because even if Tommy went out of his way to, let's say that, yes, it was, and Tommy went out of his way to make it a scam, like, you had all of these other people, even original people from Intellivision as well, coming off Keith's life celebration. All of those people would have had to have been in it as a scam as well. Like, no, not at all. Well, I don't think we started off like that.
We don't believe that either. At least me, I tend to think that it kind of sort of devolved into a bit of a scam. But I'm 50-50 on that. I don't believe that it started as a scam. I don't.
So you got to think of it like this, though. I mean, this is just debating, obviously. Think what you want to think, but like all of these, I mean, obviously they weren't as incredible as he puts them, with all of these industry legends. Like, we have the president of Nintendo, what the fuck he said. I'm like, yeah, Nintendo software technology, things like this. But these are still this is one of the things I say in the video, like, that's still an incredible person to have on your team.
Don't so why the extra?
Yeah, exactly.
He's got it. That's how he is. And that was always the thing that I was fascinated with just Tommy himself. Like, why does he do that? Why does he have to make it bigger and bigger and bigger? Just be satisfied with what you have. Yeah, exactly.
So So, but what I'm saying is that you have all of these people on there that are still genuine industry legends.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all of those people who have had to have been in, not all of them, but the majority of the people in there that would have been really close, people like David Perry and stuff, would have had to have thought that this was a scam. And I don't believe that was how it started out.
Well, let me ask you hold on. Real quick. Let me ask you this, Slopes. Could you define scam? In your opinion, what makes something a scam? I think that's where you got to start with, right? What is your definition of a scam?
Well, I suppose that, I mean, there's a million ways of looking at it. Obviously, wanting to take the money and run, That's the obvious one because that's the story that I've covered 1,000 times on Kick Scammers. Obviously, the Calico Chameleon is a scam in the sense. I mean, I even remember. Was it Tommy? Okay, don't take this with a grain of salt. I might be getting this information wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was Tommy that told me that didn't start off as a scam.
No, he said that in an interview.
Oh, okay, that's where I've heard it then. Okay, yeah.
Well, because you know, in my opinion, if you're selling a product and you're selling it with misinformation or lies, I think that's a scam. Even if you have a product, even if the Amico came out, it worked, there was games on it, it was good, it would still technically be a scam in my opinion because he was saying things like Earthworm, Toe Jam, and Earl were going to be on it. They weren't, right? Earthworm Jim, that was a real game. It wasn't. They showed off games that weren't real games, right?
No, and I agree. And I even say this is like one of the lines kind of in the video. I say because every so often I'm blasting, and I give a little bit of a thought piece and then go back to the back to the timeline. I forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, I say I completely forgot where I was going with this now.
He just had a Tommy moment.
I just had a Tommy. I just had a Tommy moment.
Yeah, like
I've lost it. Sorry, mate. I've lost it.
Getting late over there.
Oh yeah. No, that's it. I said this is the reason why. Do you understand now why Nintendo and Xbox and Sony and all of these other people, including I haven't got it next to me, but even the Evercade, these people don't come out with it's going to do this, it's going to do this, it's going to do this, right? Because
under promise and over deliver.
It's an extreme version of, not to make everyone think I'm Larry again, but of what's his name, Peter Molyneux.
Yeah, Molyneux.
Larry hates Peter.
You look at Fable. Is Fable a scam because he said it was going to do 15,000 other things, but the product came out didn't include the fucking acorn and all this other shit? Like,
no, that was just incompetent.
It's just
incompetent. Yeah,
it's just insanely overpromising, and that's what Tommy did. And so basically, I keep doing this joke, not too many times in however long the video is going to be, but I keep doing this joke where I say, let's go back to the list. So at the beginning, I say, oh no, I'm not going to share my screen. You can see my hater folder, right? Less than. So I give off the initial things that he says in the Facebook Live Q&A, which is, I believe, the first time he talks about things that are going to be on this new system that are not before it was even called the Amico. And those things are less than $200, between 140 to 180, 10 new games at launch. I had to go through news sites to find this because the Q&A is gone now. No physical media, online play, at least 7 games free, no ports, $2.99 to $5.99 per game, 60 to 80 retro games bundled in, no game below a 7, not crowdfunded, and no money up front. Now, it takes about a year and a half, but bit by bit, what you're going to see on that claim bit of paper that goes up. Yes, I'll add new claims to the bottom, but every time he changes his mind or something, it'll be like this little jokey thing where I have to go over it with Tipex or something, that sort of thing. And eventually it's going to get to a point where I say, and now every single original claim made about this system has been modified or just not come true. Can you see now why Nintendo blah 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 blah? And like I said,
real quick, I got to address something in the comment here because we have people who are insistent. Justy says, how come Retro Bro had to do an I'm flipping video and go through all the trash, but Slopes can reappear with the Amico like nothing happened? Well, here's the difference. Slopes did 2 interviews in the unboxing videos. So 3 maybe 4 videos.
Yeah.
John dedicated his whole channel for like 2 years to the Amico practically, right? I think there's a stark difference between the amount of content. And no, John, it's not because he's a bigger channel and people will kiss his ass.
And please, guys, please don't think that Slopes has got a pass. Slopes needs to redeem himself.
I've got to redeem myself, haven't I? For sure. Yeah.
He's here. He's here. This is his. This is his.
This is the mea culpa.
I don't know who it was that said that. I'm not sure who it was that said that. Like I'm not asking for forgiveness in the slightest. I am holding my hands up, and I'm going to use myself in the video as a porn in a sense. It fooled me. One of the first things you're going to hear about in the video, I haven't written the introduction because whenever I write my videos, I do the entire video, and then now I've got a good roundup, kind of like how you would do an index of a book. Then I write the little blurb, the blurb that should kind of be the beginning of the video. So, well, I'll tell you how it's going to go. I haven't written it yet, but I know how it's going to go in my head. It'll be like, I'm going to take you for a ride. Oh, no, stop. This one took me for a ride. Yes, I got involved, and that's how it's going to go. So I'm going to explain how I got fooled by this, and however people want to see that, whether they want to see the fact that, like, wow, like this is how much of a grasp this guy had on people, or if they just want to see, like, come on, fucking else, like you should have done better than this, which I completely think people will come to. I mean, people have already come to that conclusion. I'm happy people come to their conclusion however they want, but I am going to be as honest as I can in this video.
Yeah. All right. To circle back around real quick, you know, Peter Molyneux, he did promise a lot of things with the with Fable that didn't come true. I think the difference with Tommy is it wasn't like, yes, we're going to do something, you know, the Amico's going to have this, the Amico's going to have that. Those were promises, right? That you could forgive, they change over time. But when he sat down and said definitively, we have Toe Jam and Earl, right? We're working with the developers. We have X, Y, Z. It's coming out. We're on the launch pad
as well, didn't it? When he's like, we're speaking to the original
we're
creators
on the
of
launch
Worms.
pad.
Yeah. And
So
then he's
so
like,
it's like
I'm the original creator of Worms. No, you haven't, Tommy.
Right. So there's a stark difference between promising things that might happen or could happen versus this is already happened. Yeah, it's already there. It's promised. You guys buy the system. We're on the launch pad. You're going to get returns this year. Remember that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I do see the difference. Yeah. You good response there, Tony.
that's what I do. That's why we're the biggest small channel on YouTube.
He is a journalist.
The biggest small channel on YouTube. I like it. I like it. But no, I mean, guys, please don't think this is coming around anytime soon. But no, for people that are joining in more recently, I don't know how many people are watching, but Tony is one of the people that I am speaking to. Retro Bro is someone that I've spoken to. There are other people I've spoken to that are definitely way more in the camp of pro. Probably not so much on the negative side because they don't like me for some reason. But yeah, I'm getting information from everyone. But yeah, Tony is one of the people that's.
And I will tell you guys this: the other day I took off Slopes in the little group, you know, the group chat. I was busy doing other things. I looked at my phone and I said 92 new notifications. These guys were just going back and forth with all this information. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Bonkers. It's bonkers. Yeah. It's nuts. Yeah.
So what do you think the future holds? Do you think they're going to drag it out longer? Do you think it's ever going to end? It's just going to...
And it's the reason I don't everyone's saying, like, just get the video done because... Like, I remember you can attest to this. I started this again several months ago, and I said I'm just about to fucking start it, and now they're sending test units out to people. Like, I don't want it to be this the thing happen and then something big happens at the end. The Vega Plus video just wraps up so beautifully. Yeah.
Are you talking with anyone who's still pro Amico? John wants to know.
Oh, still pro Amico. Slider, but it's more like he's sending me stuff than me asking him. I don't want to bash on Slider at all. He is, without a doubt, one of my. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. He's a big fan of me. When I went to
maybe not so much after this interview because he's not a big fan of me.
No, I've done a video that he didn't like, and he told me. But he's still around, so I mean, he'll like this less. He'll hate this more, even.
Yeah, well, who even is still pro Amico? I mean, besides DJC,
Mike Mullis.
Yeah, I've never spoken to DJC.
Rab, Nick.
Well, you think most of the people that are pro Amico are in the American crew, so I don't tend to see a lot of the live.
They'll never speak to you. They'll never speak to you for a Kick Scammers video.
Heck no.
Well, you're now banned from Amico forever. Just for a period of that shit.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, it's what it is, though, isn't it?
I'm disappointed. I always thought that the Amico was going to end with Tommy in the office holding hostages
Yeah, that was the
Demanding-
good ending. That would have been the
Demanding Pat
good.
Ian show up to play the Amico.
That would have
like-
been the good ending if we had we didn't get to unlock the good ending yet. We got the kind of the mediocre ending.
I see old evil streams in the chat there say Slopes, thanks for getting Ashens to review and trash the Amico game. So let me tell you how that
was
laid out.
awesome.
I'll tell you how that went
I
down.
haven't seen that. I've got to see that.
It was great.
I don't know if, because obviously a lot of people here, I'm assuming, are from the States that are listening in and stuff. And I would say this to Intellivision a lot. Sorry, to Tommy a lot as well. Intellivision is just virtually non-existent here in the UK. Like, you just don't know that name. You would really have to look for it. I mean, obviously there are people that have them. I know when I used to speak to, like, what's his name, Top Hat Gaming, I think he's got one. A couple of like social media influencers I know, they've got them and stuff that like collect consoles. But back in the day, like, I remember going around like loads of like old, like my nan, I think she had an Atari 2600, and a few other people had 20. But I've never ever seen an Intellivision outside of going to trade shows. That's the only time I've ever played on one. It's just a non-existent name. So it's just not interesting to us here in the UK. I mean, we just have such a different background in gaming. It's why I made the channel in the first place. While you guys were having the video game crash of 1983 that every other YouTuber in the world likes to bring up, we just didn't have that stuff going on. We were still buying games at £1.99 a pop from chemists, because that's just how it was here in the UK.
Yeah,
It was
for Spectrums and Commodores, yeah.
Exactly. It was such a different, you know, you can understand why the Atari 2600 died a death when they're selling games for 40, 50 quid a pop, which are dog shit, let's be honest, for the most part. We're buying games for £1.99, and we're such a tight ass cheap country as well that we're making mixtapes. You can buy a blank tape and then copy your mate's game onto your little cassette tape, and then make a little like love mixtape full of like 15 games, because we were just that tight back in the UK. Like, I'm not spending £1.99 on a game. You're having a laugh. Yeah, that's you would get pocket money and you could buy a new video game with that. That's just how it was back in the UK. So anyway, when I got those Amico games, there they are behind me. Even I wanted them to be a cartridge or a CD, whatever. I was so interested to see how this is going to work out. But I knew I was in the minority, so I reached out to all of my YouTube UK friends and I said, "Look, hey, do you want to be part of this video?" And almost all of them just didn't even know about these physical products. I don't know if Ashens was one of those people, but I said, "Look, just watch this video that Tommy put up himself." This wasn't Tommy's instruction. This was me. Tommy didn't like me doing this, and I said, "Look, just watch this, give your opinion, and chuck me a review for like 2 minutes." And I tried to make it nice and fluctuation. Like, there was a couple of channels in there that were like 2K, and there were some bigger ones. Obviously, I think Ashens was probably the biggest. Yeah, I got them all in, and they were all negative.
It was awesome.
Yeah, but I did that because I knew that there must be something I'm missing. You know what I mean? And I wanted this to be a nice, honest opinion. And also, I'm not getting fucking paid by Tommy at the end of the day. Like, he wants a review, an honest review. I'll give him an honest review. And he didn't like the video. Obviously, didn't get shared by Intellivision or Tommy, I don't believe.
No, of course not.
So he didn't like it. But then all of the people that watched the channel also didn't like it, because I was probably the most positive in there. Yeah, like, it's just... not that it was my aim, but I won no friends over that. You know what I mean? I need to get him down, actually.
Yeah, Justy wants to know. He said, "When did you realize the Amico was going sideways?"
He's not listening. He's going to destroy them live on stream.
I still generally think they don't look too bad. I know, like, everyone fucking hates them, but I don't think they look too bad.
You're going to smash them up live on stream.
Yeah, all right. Justy wants to know, when did you realize the Amico was going sideways?
I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was as easy as a flick of a switch. Oh wow, I think this is a scam. But I think it was more, like I said, I went into that interview knowing it was a bit of a tightrope anyway. More I was obviously more so, I was more on the positive side of things, or the cultists, whatever you want to call them. But like, I always knew there was a chance it wasn't going to happen, and just as time went on, it just slowly, I just slowly moved into that era a little bit more, into the negative. And even when I was still chatting to Tommy, a good long whilst I was still chatting to Tommy, I think you can probably go back and look at my podcast. It was whenever there was new news, me and Grizzly, my co-host, would always say like, "This ain't coming out. This ain't coming out." You know, like, and that was when I was chatting to them. Like, please prove me wrong, because I really wanted it to come out. Like, it ain't coming.
I'm still waiting. Still waiting.
Yeah.
Haven't
probably
you
just
get anything.
Well, I was just thinking, like when you were saying, you know, you're afraid that something else is going to happen, and it's possible. Everything has slowed down a lot, but it's possible you may just end up having to revisit it and do like an update or something.
Yeah, well,
like,
you know, the video is going to do well, so let's just make it again, eh?
Yeah, heck, I think it will. I mean, that one dude, that H Bomber guy, what he's got on that one video is almost up to 5 million views. That's
What's
crazy.
that one?
The H Bomber guy video is almost.
Oh
like 5
yeah,
million.
yeah, absolutely.
But he didn't even really cover much of the Amico as much. It was mostly just
and
Tommy's
I'll say that
shenanigans.
now,
Like,
just to set expectations, my video is going to be different to H Bomber.
That's what we need.
Yeah, so
That's
my
what we
video is
want.
going to be Amico focused. So I have had people come to me and go, "Oh, have you heard about his Lamborghini's not real?" And I'm like, "Okay, like it's not going in the video. It's not of interest to me."
No.
You know, that's the H Bomber guy stuff. And I tell you what, like, it took me a long time to get around to finally watching that video, because, you know, it's the same with my videos. When you put up a long video, it's not instant views. You get them later because people have to like put some time aside to watch a 2-hour video.
Yeah, exactly.
But I watched it, and I wish I did a live watch along or something, because for me, I look at it from like a content creating point of view as well. Like he paced it beautifully. It was really well done.
At what point in the video did your heart break when you realized how much of a scam Tommy was himself?
Basically, when I saw the thumbnail and thought, "Fuck, someone's done it before me." No, and I was actually more happy when I watched it. I'm like, "Wow, he actually hasn't covered the Amico that much."
No, he didn't. That was great. That I know that just left it wide open for the next. That was like basically like setting it up for you, just to like putting it on a tee to knock it out of the park. You know, like because it's like everybody now knows what Tommy is, and it's going to drum up a lot more interest. Now let's look at the crap that he laid down on the Amico.
Yeah.
Why
does he hate me so much? So why does DVD Fever Games hate you Slope so much? We've just had back and forth. Not to sound like Tommy, but when people call me out, I'm gonna fucking come back at him or whatever. But he is such a twat.
He is. He's not a fan of me either.
No, I mean, yeah, he
I get along with him, but
it's just complete misinformation. Like, and I've said, here's proof. And I go over to like subreddits, and then he's still posting. I'm like, "What are you doing, mate? Like, it's not." And then even the subreddit knocked it down because it was infactual and for fucking nations. I was just like, even the fucking haters don't believe you either, mate. So just piss off. And now he really doesn't like me because no, it's just stupid.
He was banned from the subreddit for a while when I was still modding it.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Because I told him, I said, "Hey,
and me,
you just keep spamming,
even the Ultimate Shield, I wasn't banned. So what's that got to say? You know?
Well, because he keeps spamming, he kept spamming his links, and I go, "Hey, if you're going to do that, participate in the subreddit. It's not just post your link and leave, right? Participate. That's the rule on Reddit." He's like, "Well, what about you?" I'm like, "Dude, I comment on every post here. That's why I'm moderating it." And he got all mad. He's like, "Oh, this is favoritism." I'm like, you know what? You're banned. 3 days. Cool off.
Windy pops. Fucking shut up. you know when someone grinds your gears and they ain't got to do a lot to annoy you. He's reached that level for me. Let's put it that way. But no, I just think the guy's a dick. There's only 2 people I think in the entire YouTube. You know what? All these massive YouTubers, there's only ever been one big YouTuber, and again, I'm not going to name call, but the used to be like, "Oh, Dan, can I get on your show? Can I get on your show?" Like, yeah, man, I'll get you a voice. And all of a sudden, he did a video that blew him up, and now he's like completely blasted past me completely. But now I try and talk to him, and he's just like, he ain't got no time for me. I'm like, what a dick. What a fucking dick.
Yeah, that's shit.
But I hate people like that.
But then even when I was like a tiny channel, I remember I was on a live stream back when I used to live stream on my main channel. We're talking 4 maybe years ago or something. I remember because I've got a little Chrome notification thing plugin that actually pops up my emails, which is stupid because that's just going to fucking bite me in the ass one day. But I remember seeing that and then just seeing blunk, Ashens has become a patron. I'm like, fucking hell. And that was like when I was like 10K or something. You know what I mean? Like there's big channels out there that give back to smaller channels and big channels, you know, like you got to do the whole promotion thing. But like almost every single person I've reached out to, even Pat the NES punk, like well before the days of the Amico, like I reached out to him and he said he couldn't be part of a video, but thanked me for reaching out to him. You know, it's just that tiny little bit of effort that shows that you know that there are actually decent people. And almost every single person, Metal Jesus Rock gave me advice when I was like 5K. We've never spoken since, but it's just nice. not for any other reason, not for any bad reason or anything, but he gave me advice when I was 5K about how to change a thumbnail. Revez's completely just redone a thumbnail for me one day. I mean, what do you think of this? Next thing you know, he sent me back a better one. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, you know, that almost everyone I've reached out to have been really cool. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, these are the people I watched well before the days I started YouTube. But there's only ever been 2, possibly 3 bad eggs, and DVD is one of those bad eggs. He's a fucking rotten, moldy, break that egg.
Oh, he's gonna clip this and this.
I'm going to be in his next video, mate. Which is I would be excited about that, but you know, I mean, I'm sure his 5 people that watch those videos already know who I am anyway. So
I'm with Hammond, man. I think he's cool. In case he does clip, I think he's cool.
What'd you say?
You said you didn't mind him.
I got along with him. I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I get along with everybody. I try to get along with everybody.
Same here. I've got nothing but respect for anyone.
No, but if somebody shits on me, I'm coming back at them. That's just the way it is. If
not anymore, right? We've
I know. I'm
down
trying to be drama free.
And you know, like I'm sure there's people. Ninja Kitty, he's someone that's talked against me on the videos. But I've got nothing against him because he's right to criticize on what I've done. But he's not really spreading false information and then not correcting it when I call him out on it and prove that it's wrong.
Ninja Kitty's kind of in the same boat as me, and I know this because we've spoken privately, right? He's critical of the way you went on about this when you had hindsight, and I was the same.
Yeah.
But I think it was John that said this earlier on. He said people are going to hate you no matter what you do, and that's true. And John feels that.
Yeah.
The retro role. He feels that because he was a cultist at one point. But
yeah,
in my opinion, if we don't let you have the chance to say your piece and make it right in your eyes, then we're just as bad as all these people that you're talking about that just hate on you for no reason.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't mind the hate on me. I don't even mind if you don't like me. I don't care about that. But it's the spreading of false information.
Exactly. That's the shit that gets me down.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of YouTubers I don't like just because I don't like them. You know, like just because I don't like what they do or like what they make or whatever else. But you know, I'm not then going to say, "Oh, by the way, did you hear?" Like, no, you know what I mean? it's the next level. It's bullshit.
One Inch Biceps wants to know, how did you meet Larry?
So obviously Larry was one of the influencers for me back in the day before I started YouTube, and him and people like Lazy Game Reviews and a few other people, and so you don't meet Larry because if you want to meet Larry, you go to Larry. Larry doesn't go out. He doesn't go to. And I'm not trying to be an arsehole and saying that.
No, that's true. That's totally true.
He doesn't.
He finally learned how to drive like last year.
No, he hasn't.
He said he got it. He told me he got his license.
Okay, well, he's lying to you because he hasn't got his license. Did he tell you that?
Maybe he did. He might have. Tony, there's a difference though. I don't know how you do it in the US, but maybe he got a provisional.
Yeah, he's got a provisional. Yeah.
He said he was going. He was learning how to drive.
That's what he would have been talking
different,
about.
Tony. That's not getting a license. That's a provisional license.
Tony spreading false information.
I have the interview. You can go back and watch the interview.
It was a misunderstanding.
I was hoping.
I
know that was a disappointment. I was hoping that I was going to get to speak with him, but it was a pre-recorded information. I used to love those games that Yanks can't wank. I used to love that thing that he used to do.
You know what, right? I spoke to him via Skype or whatever, and he replied, "I'm like, fucking hell, yeah, I'm chatting to Larry." And we chatted for a little while, and he really liked my content. I think he commented on one of my videos first. That sounds probably what happened. He comments on everything, doesn't he? And then we started chatting, and he said, "I really like your content. You have to do some work for me one day." And I'm like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And I did. I completely recreated his Games Yank Can't Wank. He goes, "Oh, do you want to have a go at making the intro, the Games Yanks Can't Wank intro?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll make you a new one." And it was the best editing I'd ever done up to that point.
Wow.
It's this amazing thing where basically, and it pains me so hard, because basically it was this thing where you went into an art museum, and it went up to this picture. It was a bit like Pugwash animation, or like the intro to like Monty Python, where it was all like that sort of stuff. And I done this, like, you know, Games Yanks Can't Wank, and it was so beautifully done, beautifully edited. And I sent it to him, and then because he's Larry, sometimes it takes weeks to fucking reply to you.
Yes,
he's just always gaming. and then he goes, "Oh, I only wanted that bit, like the smaller version, like the Games that Yanks Can't Wank, but I did the whole long version."
Yeah.
So I said, "Oh, okay." So I cut it down and gave him a new version. So that one that you see, where it's the new version, where it's like Games that Yanks, where it's like the logo that comes in, I edited that. That was mine. I did that for him.
Nice.
So I did that for him, and then I remember I was at work, and I was sneakily looking at my YouTube, like my 9 to 5, my old 9 to 5 job, and I was just deleting old videos. I was like, "No, I've deleted the fucking art video thing." Oh, it's gone.
Oh,
really
that sucks.
But anyway, yeah, and then it went back and forth, and we done a bit of work, and he goes, "Oh, do you want to do some editing for me?" And yes, I did a bit of editing. Like, if you go back to there's a playlist on my channel where it's all my collaborations. So that's some things where I've been a voice in a video, or I've done some writing for someone or whatever. If you go right down to the bottom, you'll see all these Larry videos. All of those I either wrote or edited, or both. And then I remember at the time he was struggling to get past 100k. Or no, he was 100k, but I think it was about 101k. He was like literally just on the mark. Right. And so I was frying him all my Kick Scammer content was going onto his channel, and my channel at the same time. And we had this like awesome deal going.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. We was uploading the same content twice, which was painful to look back on now, because a lot of people look at like the Echo the Dolphin, that sex story one. That was my video, and a lot of people think it's his. There's a lot of that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, he paid me for that goes on his channel. And you know, all of the videos went on there. He was really, really cool about it. But I remember once, so I would upload a video on his channel, it would get like 100 or 150, 200k or whatever. And then I'd upload it on my channel, and I would get like 10k. But it's just, it is what it is, you know. I would get my money, and then he would give me the money that video would make, cut and split that, you know. But I would just make a different intro for him. I remember once I just could not get hold of him, and I was so anal about the fact that I have to get a video out every single week. I don't know why I set that goal for me, but I'd never missed it, and I just couldn't get hold of him. I mean, it sounds like, Tony, you know what it's like. Sometimes you can't get hold of Larry. I couldn't get hold of him, and it was Sunday. I'm like, "Mate, you need to fucking get this video," because the agreement was we upload at the exact same time. And by this point, he had fucking shot up in the stratosphere. I'm not like I don't want to say I'm responsible for it in any way. I'm not saying that, but I definitely helped him with his growth between 100 to 350k. Because if you look, that was when I was releasing all my Kick Scammer content on his channel and stuff like that. I couldn't get hold of him, so I was like, "Well, look, I can't wait for Larry anymore. I'm going to upload it on my channel." And because I uploaded it on my channel before it went live on his, it went the views just shot up on my channel.
Nice.
And I was like, "Whoa!" And then obviously the money you earn from doing that, I was like, I'm not earning much less than what Larry gives me here.
The wheels started turning.
That's it. And then I started doing it on my own channel, and that was it, really. But no, me and Larry, like, he's been one of my biggest supporters. I've helped him, but obviously he's massively helped me as well, insanely so. He gave me advice. He was one of the people that helped me come up with the Kick Scammer idea, actually. So he's because I remember I'd already done a Kickstarter video, and I think it was him that said, like, "Why don't you do things that aren't just gaming related? Gaming related ones always do the best on my channel because it's pleasing both camps." But I mean, that's an extremely long answer, but yeah, me and Larry, good friends.
It's good to see him losing all that weight too. Like
but he's scary looking. Fat Larry.
Well, I think it's just because you're not used to it, you know.
Yeah.
That's just different. Some of the fat, like in your face and stuff, it'll look normal eventually. But I think that's good for him. It's healthy.
It looks a bit unwell, to be quite honest. But
that's just what happens when you have a lot of weight and you lose it.
He did it. They did it with shakes or something. I think I remember him mentioning that he did it through like juicing or shakes. That's all he was taking in. He wasn't eating any food.
Yeah,
Crazy,
that'll
man.
do it. Sweet and Tender wants to know: do you think the Amico Forever crew is now complicit in the Amico scam?
Yeah, it's a good point.
The correct answer is yes. If you want to continue this redemption arc that you're on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, going by. I mean,
If
going
it's a
by
scam,
like it's going by like the way you look at a scam. Because
have
I
you
would
seen
be
that show?
surprised.
Do you watch their show at all?
No,
you know the show he's talking about.
Literally not at all.
Right.
Let
me just can I just
mind.
quickly lay out a little bit of context behind the question he's asking you here. On that show weekly in the chat is a guy called John Alvarado. I know you've heard the name. Right?
I may have heard the name. Yeah.
Currently, he
with
holds
his amazing mustache.
Currently in that chat, he holds a wrench, which makes him a moderator, which means he can curate any comment that's made in the chat. There's another guy sitting in the chat called Mike.
Well, he was an actual like financially supported several channels as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
As has Tommy.
Who? John Alvarado.
Yep. Yeah, John Alvarado.
Right,
is
okay.
in the,
I've seen. Okay, he's done super chats. Is that what you mean?
He was actually as in a YouTube channel member of certain channels. Right. I don't know if he's a member of the DJC one, but he's definitely a channel member of certain ones.
I don't know if he's a member of that one, but I know he's got a wrench and he's curating comments. But there's another guy in there, other guy who's testing the console opposite to DJC, Mike Mullis. He's also curating comments. The rules are now.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen him.
Can't speak negative against the Amico at this point in the game. To not have a single negative comment about the Amico means that you don't talk about the Amico. Full stop. Because all it is negative.
Well, yeah, it's quite nice. Well, it's not nice. It's brain deafening, dead. I don't know what I'm even talking about now. It's 2:30 a.m. But like going through the timeline, you can really see major points almost to the day on when things divide. You know what I mean? And you can see when major divides are happening to the point, and it gets to a point, especially on the Atari Age forum, because obviously Tommy and his crew are there, like supporters are there. People were going in, and there were more hardcore naysayers. Tony TGD was one of them that was going in there harder than others. But then there were other people in there that would just say the slightest little thing, and it would just get fucking bombasted with like hardcore responses, and it's just like really, really hardcore stuff. Like one of the funnier ones, and to be fair, at this point, Tommy was quite he was being negative with his responses, but he was it was fighting back on his responses, but he was being quite pleasant at this point. But the whole Kevtris stuff was quite funny. When he's saying, look, I don't think you realize, like, he wasn't, I'm paraphrasing, he wasn't being this blunt and rude, but he was, I don't think you realize who you're talking to. When Kevtris says, I release consoles as well, and he's like, I don't think you realize who you're talking to, mate. And he's like, well, no, actually, I don't think you realize who you're talking to, you know. 100% paraphrasing. I've got all this in the script, but and for people out there that don't know what we're talking about, Kevtris, the guy behind Analog stuff, that was trying to give him advice.
1 Inch Biceps says he wants to know who is your favorite YouTuber from America besides this channel, obviously.
I was about to say it's all Tony TGD all night long. Sometimes I can't sleep unless I've got my Tony TGD fix.
Fuck the rest of you guys.
Well, you're not from America, so you don't count.
But I'm on an American show, so
at
2:30 a.m.
So I'm absolutely in love with America as in general. I was out in Florida this year. And I know it's like the most touristy place you can go, but like, I was out there this year, and I just, every time we go there, I'm like, man, I wish I fucking moved to America so much. I absolutely.
What part of Florida did you go to? Do you remember? What?
We're talking like, you know, like I was Disneying it up and all that. Like
Disney Orlando, yeah,
of course. I've done other places. I've been to California, I've been to Chicago, and a few other places like that. But
he was in DC on January 6th.
Oh no.
No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, very good. Okay. No, I'm a big fan of America, but like, I suppose, like, I do look at things from an editing point of view as well. I don't watch everything. I don't watch a lot of what people upload now because once you spend all day working on videos and stuff,
Yeah, you don't have
take a lot of
time. Yeah.
But I mean, Lazy Game Reviews was
He's
one of
great.
my biggest influences. I'd say like the biggest influences for me was obviously Lazy Game Reviews. When he did a little mini documentary about calculators, I was just like, you know what I mean? Like that sounds, or DRM. And I'm like, this is the most fucking boring topic you could possibly.
He makes it really interesting,
and it's so interesting.
Yeah.
And my first time I ever made a video, I didn't upload it. I was going to be a character. I didn't want to show myself on camera and all this sort of stuff. I was a bit nervous, and I had a bit of a "Hey, how's it going?" sort of like Beetlejuice voice. And I was just basically going to be this static person on a screen that had a mustache, and it would like move, and that would be like the way I'd make him look like his mouth's moving. That's because obviously I was watching a lot of more character-based YouTube reviewers like your Angry Video Game Nerds and stuff like that. But it was actually Angry Video Game Nerd that did a video on the Sword Quest series, like the old Atari 2600 Sword Quest games, like where you can win the chalice and all that sort of stuff. But that story behind this, that was just something about gaming I didn't know nothing about, and that just fucking fascinated me way more than pretending to shit on people and do whatever else Angry Video Game Nerd does. So I was like, you know what, like, I'm just so more interested in the history of video games. I already was anyway. And I'm like, that's the angle I want to go down. And obviously, when you mix that with things like Lazy Game Reviews doing, and obviously Larry's doing, people like Larry and Kim Justice in the UK, they're good because they talk about stuff that that I don't know about. And few people, like, I'm not without trying to big myself up a bit, but everyone now knows that, there were ET carts buried in the desert. Yes, there was a video game crash in 1983. Yes, we know what Doki Doki Panic is. Yeah, we want like
stale.
Yeah, exactly. We want more. The obvious stuff's done. So, I like, those ones. I like Gaming Historian as well. His production value is fucking next level. I find that quite interesting. Slopes like 8-Bit Guy. Yeah. I've never actually had the chance to speak to 8-Bit Guy. He's one of the few people I've never spoken to. But he does some good content.
You ever talk to Tech Moan?
Only briefly. We talked about this record player thing from Japan that I was quite interested in.
Of course.
But yeah, that was it. Yeah, Techman's cool.
Yeah,
he's cool actually. My father-in-law sadly passed away a couple of years ago. We used to watch Techman together. That was like the YouTube videos we could watch together.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
We should
Kim
probably
Rules,
let this
absolutely.
man.
Mate, I'm fucking buzzing now. I'm
bed.
actually going to finish off the reading of my script. So basically, what I'm doing, I've been doing today, is doing. I've turned the camera on. I've turned OBS on even, and I'm just recording myself read the script. And yeah, it's about a 5-hour video because I keep changing things. I'm like, okay, no, I want to take that out. I want to put that in, whatever else. So I was hoping it would be a way for me to work out how long it's going to be, but it's just all those things. I'm like, fuck, I don't think I can add that. Did I talk about that? And then I have to go research something, and so it's ended up being like 5 hours or so, and I didn't get to the end. I got to like 77 pages in. So before I go to bed, I'm going to finish off the last 25 pages.
All right, real quick, we got to ask you 2 questions before we leave. First is, do you like crab legs, and can you say crab legs repeatedly?
Is this some kind of like weird South Park joke? Like, do you like fish sticks?
It's another redemption step. Sorry, Steps, you've got to do it.
Is it? Do I like crab legs? No.
Is that enough sweet?
I don't know. Crabs freak me the fuck out, but I like eating them. Like
crab cakes are good. Crab cakes are really good.
Crab cakes are beautiful. I like eating fish, seafood, like, and some. I'm talking like proper, like down where I'm from, down near Hastings, where I'm like down near the sea, and you're eating winkles and jellied eels and all that shit. I love all that, and every other type of fish. But fucking crabs, man, the way they move, they freak me out.
All right, and that
can you explain what the fuck I've just had to answer?
Yeah, random.
It's just a thing in the community. People talk about crab legs.
There's a guy in the chat, Sweet and Tender Hooligan. He likes people sticking in videos. Do you know the comedian Lemmy Slopes? You should know him. Lemmy from Glasgow. He Twitch streams now. He had this show.
Okay, no, I don't. I'm thinking of Motorhead guy.
Well, basically, it doesn't matter who he is. I'm Scottish, right? And I've spent good money making that guy say this phrase just so he can put it in a video. He
Right.
hasn't done it yet.
It's still confusing to me. I mean, like, Tony,
Doesn't make any
he's
sense to
getting
any
you
of
to
us, but he
fucking
wants us to
paying
do
you
it,
to
so-
get people to talk about crabs. Like,
It
can I
doesn't
get
make
in
any
on
sense
this?
to any of us, man.
And you said your very first video that you didn't release. Are you ever going to release that?
Oh, it was never finished. It was never finished.
Well, even the unfinished thing. That would be a nice little historical.
I've shown it to Patreon, so maybe if you want to go and have a look.
Oh, a little plug
put
there.
Put it behind the paywall. No, I don't even know if I'd be able to. I definitely have still got it. So basically, whenever I used to upgrade my PC or redo Windows, I would save my pictures, like my pictures and my documents, into like one folder, and then I would say older, and then older and older. So you have to like dig down about 20 revisions worth to find the old stuff. Oh man, it's gonna take me so fucking long. Oh no, I documented. I've got this portal for patrons. I can show you guys. It's embarrassing as fuck. So one thing you'll notice if you look at the URL on my channel, I've forgotten what it is. I changed it. It used to be. It isn't Slope's game room. It's like DJ Slope's room or something. Like I've changed it now because you're able to unique URL it. Yeah. But that's because originally it wasn't just going to be video games. I talked about it. It was going to be like Slope's game room. There was going to be Slope's animation room, Slope's movie room, or whatever else. No one wants me to review movies, but I think everything's good, so you don't want to hear that. This was going to be the animation. It's me reviewing the Adventures of Gumball. So, oh man, how the fuck am I going to find this? I'll find it.
Sweet and tender hooligan, we're not going to ask Slopes if he's had a vasectomy. That's the new thing that they're on about now.
Right. Unless you want to answer that.
It hurt to go on a rocking horse for a little while. I'll just say that. What would I even first video? Maybe I'm trying to first video I ever made, part 1 and part 2. Here we go.
It's unfinished and there's 2 parts. What the hell?
Oh fuck me! This is embarrassing. I don't know if I can show this to people. Shit me. Woo! Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Only channel subscribers of 5 minutes or longer can send messages. Oh, fuck off, Tony. What are you doing, mate?
You can't put links in it either. You can put it in the private.
All right. Here we go.
You got a mod Slopes, man.
Oh my God. Jesus. This is embarrassing.
It is. There you go. You can make it.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Put it on the screen. I don't care. It's humbling to go back. I better shut up.
Oh, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
All right. This is the first video that Slopes has ever made. Exclusive.
Hey there. How you doing? This is Slopes Animation. Welcome. Firstly, welcome. And on his channel is review new and old school animation program.
Real quick, who drew this? Was this you?
Yeah, I drew it. Yeah, with a mouse.
It's not bad.
Nah, I couldn't have done that with a mouse. I suck with drawing with a mouse.
Why did you choose no color for the character?
I mean, I think this was just. I don't think this was ever something I was going to release. It was me more like
It's
playing around,
incomplete.
trying to get like an idea on what I was going to do.
All right.
You look like a Viz character, like me.
And films to see if you like them, you can watch them then, based on our review. This week we have The Amazing World of Gumball, a brand new show, first show actually, from the Cartoon Network Development European team. It's definitely something to be checking out, and here's our review.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Do you want to see where I started properly?
Sure.
Oh, I was a YouTuber. Again, let's bring out the old similarities between me and Larry. Larry used to have a TV show, but sorry, Larry, that was on cable TV, mate. I was on fucking Channel 5. I had my own TV show on Channel 5, mate.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. Have a go on this.
All right, let me.
This is just a random. Oh, hello. Have I muted myself? No, I'm all right. There we go.
Human guinea pigs?
Yeah, I used to have my own TV show back in, I don't even know when it was now, like 12 years ago or something like that. Actually, do you want me to give a bit of context here before we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so me and my mates used to be just, before the days of Jackass and before the days of Dirty Sanchez and all these other things, we used to just get fucked up at parties. And before the days of YouTube, I'd like to add as well. We used to just get fucked up at parties, just be idiots. But it was like really lame. It was like, dude, you fell over extreme. It was like really lame. But obviously, when that shit started coming out, we really started to up our game. And we started sending promos of us just being idiots, but it was always just us getting drunk at parties. Like I remember, like there was one night where you'd put your face at the bottom of the banister and people would just drop drinks, like, smack you in. It was just us being idiots, like teenagers in like early 20s. Everyone wanted to be Steve-O, that sort of stuff. And yeah, so we sent it to a few people, and then one day a TV company said, "Hey, do you want to turn it into a TV show?" And we're like, "Yes, we do." And the end result wasn't exactly what we wanted. We wanted it to be fucking extreme, but what they wanted was a more family friendly, essentially, what was that name of that show? It was like a science show thing, but yeah, basically no, it wasn't Mythbusters, although this was originally going to be on Discovery Channel, and they put some serious money behind it. And what was annoying was Channel 5 ended up coming along, and anyone in the UK will tell you that Channel 5 has nothing on the Discovery Channel, but they put more money in, and then we ended up being a Channel 5 exclusive show. So if we ended up going on Discovery Channel, we would have been a lot more popular, and hey, maybe this YouTube channel never would have happened. I would have been maybe a little bit more famous on that. But yeah, anyway, it was a lot more family friendly. They would do experiments, and they would say every week, like, one of the guys was scared of needles, so he had acupuncture all over him. I had liposuction just to show what the science was behind that.
So he did used to be Larry, and then he got lipo.
Yeah, that's it. And there was loads of other stuff, but yeah, this one, I'm shit scared of flying. So this was one of the weeks when they said to me, "We're going to take you to an airfield and strap you to the top of an airplane."
Ooh.
And here we go. You see young
There
me.
are two
There's
requirements
me.
in becoming a guinea pig.
This was on
Stupidity
TV.
and
This was on the same time as Coronation
As we
Street
all
in the
know,
UK.
Dan is lacking in neither, except for one key area.
Yeah, I'm sure these
His fear of
Coronation
heights
Street
and
viewers plummeted, didn't they?
Well, yeah, you know what? Actually, it killed us because we were supposed to be on at the same. So originally, we were fighting between the Gadget Show and us to get the later slot, which you want to be the slot after Coronation Street, because everyone watches Coronation Street, and then once that's finished, people start flicking the channels, and then they would come over to this. But we were on the same time, and it just killed us. It killed us.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what killed you.
Well, I did.
Yeah, hey, we saw the stats; they were positive. So there's
So
five
what's
of
the
us.
best
These are
way
all
to
me and
help?
my mates, but this
We're
episode's
going to
more
strap him to this
focused on
beautiful
me.
biplane and take him for a ride.
Dan's going flying. La, 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 la.
These are all my mates.
in moments of crisis, some people turn to
That one
God,
there, the massive long
others
ginger ale,
to
is
their
my best mate.
parents. Dan calls
Now you see Dan's crack.
There it is. There it is for the world to see.
his girlfriend.
It's got about 600,000 views when it was live, and now another 18 as well.
So you're calling your girlfriend on the phone. Is this the current?
Look
wife?
how old my phone is. That'll give you the time when we film this.
Yeah,
Nokia.
flip phone.
That's
Is
a
this,
Nokia, mate.
is this your current wife that you're calling, or is this?
Yeah, she's my wife now. Yeah,
Huh?
she stayed with me weirdly.
Well, you were big time already.
That's
On
it,
some
mate.
of that Channel 5 money.
Yeah, I got $2,000 for this. You like the long hair?
I love you, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, fear is kicking in, man.
And you got the little piercing on.
Did you say this was
Yeah.
on Channel 5? Was it on Channel
Yeah,
5?
it's on Channel 5. Yeah.
No wonder it fucking failed.
Yeah, I
What
know.
is
Tell me
Channel-
about it. Back in the day, before like we had Sky and stuff, it was Channel 1, 2, 3, 4, which was BBC 1, 2, and then you had ITV and Channel 4. That was all we had in the UK for like the majority of the UK market. And then 5 come along, which I think was a Virgin owned channel back in the early days. But it
That
was
guy
very
probably
much-
got laid by now.
So it's probably like
Yeah.
ABC, CBS, NBC. I assume, but like we have over here, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, by this point, obviously people had Sky and stuff, but I mean, it was, yeah, Channel 5 was fully like, I mean, even to this day, it's not very well known at all.
Ooh, Justy said, "Damn, didn't know Slopes talk so much after I seen the Tommy interview."
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Oh,
Fair point.
Run that mouth.
Much.
About 1 in 5 people have a fear of flying, and logic is no cure. We all know that flying is safer than driving a car. 29 times safer, in fact. In a world of logic, that should mean that 29 times more people would be afraid to get into a car than on a plane.
I feel like those numbers are wrong.
Can't be.
29.
It's a British man.
What? That
You're so critical, mate. Tommy did
I
like
am.
this.
No, I'm just saying.
Flying is safer than driving, though. Is that what you're?
Statistically, it is.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the statistics are wrong because if
Well,
you take
you're
the
wrong,
amount of
Tony.
planes,
Well, how many plane crashes do you hear about?
Yeah,
How many
exactly. There's
car
way
crashes
more,
do you see?
way more.
well,
car
there's way
crashes.
more cars on the road. That's what I'm saying.
The difference is if you can survive a car crash, you're most likely not going to survive a plane crash, but they happen far less.
Planes don't have little bumper to bumper, right? You're not hearing planes just like nicking each other like little.
No.
Cars have that many more crashes, but there's so many more cars on the road.
But even still,
no, it's not like a
there's
whole
more
bunch of
people
planes.
dying. There's more
Yeah,
people
but
dying from car crashes than there are people dying
Yeah,
from plane
exactly.
crashes.
Whether or not there's more cars doesn't change the fact that it's more dangerous. I mean, it just is what
Yeah,
it
it
is.
does change the fact because there's not like a shit ton of planes
And also
in the air.
There
that's
is
what
a
I say,
shit ton of
take
planes in the
car
air,
crashes
Tony.
out as well, because
Well-
you've also got the other people that cars kill as well. People
Well,
that
let's-
aren't in cars.
Well, how many planes crash into another plane versus
Should we-
planes
should we-
that
should we
crash
do
into
some
the
research?
ground? Right?
I'll get this in the video.
But what I'm saying is, like, cars crash into each other, right?
I
Planes
don't know if
crash
I want to
into each
research how
other.
many people die in planes every year. Like, what's happened?
Yeah, let's
Just play it, Tony. Let's see it.
you got to forgive me. I'm autistic.
Unfortunately, numbers and figures don't cure anxiety disorders. Hopefully, this will. By the time he's on the plane, Dan's heart rate is 174 beats per minute.
Little behind the scenes.
Oh,
for
damn!
you.
You had to. What? You had to be on top of the plane?
Yeah.
Did you sign a waiver?
Dang.
Yeah, I think so. So basically, this lady here, all the
Looks
guys.
kinda
I mean,
hot.
I was there with my lad mates, and we was all like swooning over this girl, and they were like, "Wow, she looks really nice." And like her job is literally just to fly around on top of fucking biplanes and do like shows and stuff, and then they'll go fly over to somewhere else in Europe and somewhere else. Like pretty amazing. She like rocks up in this like Barbie pink Porsche, and like like I say, all these guys were like swooning over her, and as you'll see with me, all I'm doing is just fucking hugging her and crying because I was just about to go up on the toilet. It wasn't my finest moment. Well, I'll probably take it again over a Tommy interview, but you know.
Yeah, it probably made for good
This is the
good
equivalent of
TV.
doing a hard, fast run. And he's crying.
Who's this guy?
But he is
fine.
actually an incredibly intelligent guy. He didn't really want much to do with the show afterwards, from my understanding. But basically, yeah, he's like one of the top science professors of some sort. Professor Stuart Milligan in some London university. He's really, really, really well respected. And then somehow he turned up on this show. I think they got him in because he had a bit of an Isaac Newton thing going on, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Scared pig. I'd be so
Damn.
scared by now, let alone scared of
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Hell no.
So I'd say to pause and I suppose you can say what you got to think of here. Put yourself in the mind of the camera crew. There's another plane next to me, and the wings are like so fucking close. So not only am I fucking scared of flying, there's another one next to me, and it
You're
just
afraid
keeps
of
like
crashing.
almost touching me. And I mean, it probably wasn't, but it felt like it, and I was just like freaking.
Did you
the
piss yourself?
fuck out. No. When I was, it's the same as when you go on a roller coaster. Like the scary parts when you're going up. The rest of it's just like you're having the best fucking time ever.
Yeah,
when you're
yeah,
up there,
yeah.
it was great. It was just the anticipation of going up.
I don't like roller coasters, so no. All of it is terrible for me.
Pussy. No, I love it.
Yeah.
But no, I was freaking out. I remember I went up and I was like, "Fucking hell, I think I'm high." That shed looks well small. Like, no, that's a house. Fuck. And then I realized how high I was, and then I probably wasn't up there for much longer than 15 minutes. It felt like 10 seconds, but it was amazing, mate.
Was this
So
the
much
highest
fun.
you've ever been in your life, or have you been higher?
Well, I've been in a plane. It didn't go as high. It didn't go as high as a proper Boeing, you know.
It's probably the highest.
That was a marijuana joke, but okay.
Yeah, you missed. Yeah, that was.
Those days are behind me.
These were the days right here.
Yeah. So you can see, you just see the wing of the plane that's filming it.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, you're having a good time. It looks like.
Yeah.
Really well. Actually, might be screaming a lot, but if you enjoyed it.
That guy right there. I'll tell you something embarrassing about him. I don't know. He's one of those people I've unfortunately fallen out of contact with over the years. But he has a tattoo of lost profits. He probably doesn't have it anymore. But oh my god!
Did any of the other guys do this after off?
Yeah, they all wanted to, but they only had enough for me to do it. This was basically there was only 2 stunts in the entire show that they told us beforehand. Look, are you going to do this? Because we could always pull out if we wanted to. But there was only 2 stunts in the entire show where they said, look, we're going to tell you what it is. Because if you say no, it's going to cost us like 13 grand or something stupid. And you're basically going to fuck it. Yeah. This was one of them. But they only was allowed to have one person go up. And all the other guys were begging to go on there, but they wanted me to go on there because I was the guy that was scared of heights. And convinced them, look, let me go up, because they wanted me to go up again. But I was buzzing. I was well up for going up again, but the other guys were buzzing to go up, so let one of them go up, and that's the one there of the Lost Profits tattoo. He went up, and what his little experiment was, when you grab a drink or a bucket and you spin it and the water stays in. Yeah. They wanted to see if he could hold a glass or a cup or whatever, and it go upside down, will the water stay in? If he does a whole loop,
Right.
So, yeah. That video's on YouTube. Go search human guinea pigs, you'll find them. There's not many on there.
It doesn't seem like I'm high enough. I'm walking in the air.
Even though Dan is currently 1,200 feet in the air, his heart rate has dropped to 130. And he genuinely looks like he's enjoying himself.
That one pole's holding you up as well.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Well done, Dan. So all you need to cure fear of heights is a biplane and a complete lack of common sense.
There we go.
Did they recommend you not eat before you went up there? Or?
I don't think so. I think we went for a fry up beforehand, probably. I think I put some serious weight on during that show. I ate and drank so much. It was just an amazing month. It was just us just acting like dicks. Just
you had that celebrity lifestyle. Eating.
Yeah, it was good fun. Yeah, it was just us. Yeah. So one of the things they wanted us to do was try and beat the world record for drinking. Get a Guinness World Record like something. Get the Guinness World Record for drinking slush puppy as quick as we can. We had slush puppy machines in our living room. We're just filling up with Jack Daniels and just drinking that on tap all day long. It was just such a party house. It was so much fun. And we basically because obviously we came from being idiots anyway, like at parties and doing silly things, and now people are paying us to do it. So the craziest stuff didn't come up on camera, probably, thinking about it. Yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. But yeah, there was loads of other stuff we did as well.
Look at that. That makes him the first TV celebrity to be on the channel.
Is it? Oh, mate, yeah, not far from a TV celebrity. We got recognised a few times.
Tony, you've had Tommy Tallarico on your channel.
Yeah. Well, everything's fake. We don't know if he's actually been on TV now. He said he was on TV.
That could be a lie, yeah.
It could have been a green screen or a stunt double.
That's it. He gave it to me and then he took it away. So yeah, no, that's cool. And you've had Larry on. He's had his own channel. Well, he used to host
Games World, wasn't he?
Yeah, Games World. Yeah.
He wasn't live, so it doesn't count.
Oh, well, there you go then.
You've had Vito on too, but the only time I think he was on that he was on TV one time on the news or something.
He was on a lot of news.
A rally, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Well, there we go then, Pete. I'm probably not going to do the rest of my script now because it's nearly 3 in the morning. I thought I'd quickly pop on. I think I popped on at about 1-ish. and it is.
Yeah, let's let this guy go to bed, man.
That happens on this channel. We'll start talking, and 3 hours later, we're like, oh, what the?
Yeah,
You've put subscriber mode only
mean-
on your chat. I notice.
Yeah, that keeps out all the sex bots.
Oh right. Oh really?
Because they can't. They don't subscribe to your channel. They can't subscribe because they're bots.
I like it. Yeah, there is quite a lot of those out there.
Tony
Jamie
doesn't
C
want
wants
to
to
know.
know.
He didn't like it.
No. Have you ever met Dominic Diamond?
Nah, never. Unfortunately, not.
He's not doing interviews anymore. I don't think. I think he's done with them all now.
Yeah, I think he's done everything. He's done some stuff with Retro Hour, and that's probably the end of that, from my understanding. Yeah. No, no, it wasn't even him that I spoke to either. No, not had any opportunity at all, email or anything, unfortunately. But yeah, and I remember, used to watch the older Games Master stuff quite a lot when I was younger. When I remembered to actually, go downstairs and put it on. These kids nowadays got it so easy, eh?
They do. So what games are you playing these days? Before you go quickly.
I can't stop playing Dome Keeper all the fucking time. Love me some Dome Keeper. To the point where now I think I've actually put more hours into that than any other game on my Steam library, which is absurd. But I've got the Steam Deck, so it's just an easy thing to play while we're watching proper TV. None of this human guinea pig shit, But yeah. There you go. Slopes, don't forget in your Kick Scammer video, highlight your panel video. Panel video? What one's that?
He's talking about the one with all the people talking about the
physical products. Yeah.
The games.
Don't worry, Justy. We'll remind them.
Yeah.
No, I think
Ninja Kitty will remind them. Ninja Kitty's also one of the people helping.
Yeah, I'm getting advice from Ninja Kitty, Gatoroos, Tony TGD, technically Tommy, from back in the day.
Well, if you need a voiceover for Tommy, I'm down. If you need somebody.
I think I might have someone for Tommy. But basically, I'm currently what I'm doing is I'm highlighting everything that's green in my script is basically a voice from someone else. So whether that's the Ars Technica guy or whether that's just someone on an Atari Age forum, so I'm going around looking for all these different people that are going to be doing that. So yeah, there we go. You
should get that red face guy from Digital Foundry on there.
Oh, that's another people I've not spoken to before. Digital Foundry, I've not spoken to those, but I have. Well, I've spoken indirectly to those. Yeah, they seem like cool guys. Rat face guy. I'm guessing you don't like him.
No, that's what one of the Amico fans called him.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah.
The rat face guy.
I literally don't even know who you're talking about, but I know. I'm guessing it's the guy with the little goatee thing.
They never said. They just said that they got an email going, "Hey, Radface, how dare you question the Amico?" And like, they were very upset.
It's hilarious. I remember they were one of the people. Even like, so that's a channel that I've never spoken to, like I said, and I remember that was someone that I remember telling Tommy, "Look, what you got to do, if everything you're saying is true about the system, go send it to someone like Digital Foundry or Re-Res or someone like that, someone that just don't have any kind of connection, and just let them review it. Just let them do what they got to do." And then I remember that they were I think I said them. I probably said Re-Res. I think he's quite respectable in that regard. And there's no bias there. You know what I mean? Like, I think it got to a point where you can't really send one to like get me to review it or get Retro Bro to review it. Because even though I honestly think I would give an honest opinion, I think people would see it differently. So I said, give it to someone like them. And that, like I said, these are people I'd never spoken to, and I just thought it'd be a good idea to give it to him. But and I also said to him, you need to stop either telling me stuff or get me to sign an NDA. And he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea. And he never did.
They just stopped telling me stuff.
Whoops.
Lucky, wasn't
it? In all fairness, I mean, Tommy, if you're listening,
he's listening.
Probably.
I'm not bringing up stuff that we've talked about together, because there's nothing really in there that isn't already public knowledge anyway. And for the most part, we talked about music and stuff. So yeah, and obviously Tony TGD, careful of that guy.
Yeah, I'm still friends with Tommy on Discord, so I'll give him a message.
I'm not. I don't have him on Discord.
I do. He added me for the interview I did with him, and then he never removed me. So
forgot.
technically, yeah.
Oh right, yeah. That was a harsh interview, man. I mean, obviously, don't take an interview advice from me, but Yeah, that was a hardcore interview. I remember because I obviously didn't listen to that until I was researching for this video. I was like, "Fuck me, he did not let up."
Nah.
Have you listened to Slopes? Have you listened to Top Loaded Gaming's interview with him as well?
I mean, probably
listen to that one as well, because that's the other guy that pushed back other than Tony.
Oh yeah.
Trevor.
The guy that's like smoking a vapor.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I listened to that one. Yeah. It all just merges into one. It got to a point where I just started blitzing my house. Like my son's room. Like, right, okay, let's rearrange my son's bedroom, and then I just take the laptop in there, put it on double speed, and I'm just like, because it just gets to a point where you're just listening to the same thing over and over, and you only get about 3 or 4 interviews in on that day, because it's just like, fuck me, come on, and you're just waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then finally, and here's an exclusive for you. Like, right, okay, I'm listening. Here it is.
It's like 3 hours of the same shit, 10 minutes of an exclusive.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, let me give
probably
you
brings back a lot of bad memories.
I don't know if you can show this, but I'll give you an example on how I research for these interviews. I've got the wrong document open. They're all the people. I need someone to do all those lines. Oh, here we go. So I'll grab a random interview, and then I'll just take all. I mean, I think you've actually seen this already, Tony, but I'm trying to go to one of the interviews that I've spoken to. So someone, come on, people are waiting.
Sweet and Tender wants to know: do you think Tommy Tallarico plays air guitar for Video Games Live?
Oh, I don't know. It's fucking crushing, man. It really is.
I really hope a Video Game
it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But basically, yeah, I'll pick up. I've tried sending you to it. It's all broken up. The formatting and stuff.
You could just send. There's a button on the bottom that says share screen, and you could share the screen if you wanted.
Oh, okay. Everything is set up. Right, here we go.
We can get it from what you've sent. You can kind of understand where you're coming from.
That's all right. I don't mind. I'm just trying to work out I'm getting it correct. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, I'll choose one random podcast, like for instance here. So he appeared on the Sci-Fi 3D podcast. He's getting more fierce and direct with his opinions by this point. This isn't the script. This is my research part of the research part. So I talk about that. We have 6 of the top 7 big box companies on board. At the 34 mark, there's 300,000 units. Worst case scenario, units shipped in a year. $11 million marketing budget. At 35 minutes, he says that. At 51, he's kicking off about Pat and Ian. So basically, because then I can do a Control F and look for everywhere he's talked about that. And if when I get to the editing part and I want to do a little montage, I can do that. Coding has not started for from Jim Forster in the design phase. 98% chance they'll be hitting that 10/10/2020 release date, and we are not a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, etc. That's at that point. So yeah, you can see how it goes. But look, this is a big document.
Damn.
It goes on.
He's got pictures of Tommy. I saw it.
I saw it. Hey.
Basically, that whole bit.
Italian.
Because obviously it goes this thing where I'm just like. And then this happens, and then this happens. But I think at this point in my actual script, I'm doing like a bit of a bigger opinion piece, and then oh, by the way, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And then next thing, so it's just like a quick poof, poof, off, it's like a little skit, funny thing. But yeah, it goes on and on and on.
I'm surprised that H Bomber Guy didn't cover Tommy's epic his rant on what the hell is the guy who discovered America, but really didn't discover America.
Columbus?
Yeah, it's Columbus Day. Fuck, why did I blank on Columbus's name? Tommy's epic Columbus Day Twitter rants.
Oh
I've
yeah,
never even heard of that.
Hang on.
Oh, you didn't hear? Well, you know how every year for the last 3 or 4 years they've been saying to rename Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day. Well, Tommy always gets on Twitter to fight with people to tell them how.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
He always picks the good battles to fight, doesn't he? This time,
and he basically said, "Well, why did he goes?" Because you know how people are like, "Well, Columbus came and raped and pillaged," and he was like, "Well, Indians were raping each other before white people came, anyway."
Oh my God! What a bad take.
Yeah, we're like, Tommy, why would you? Even I was like, dude,
that's terrible. I know.
This is a different document I'm just showing here. This is
all the games.
List the
all the
games.
Yar's Revenge. Yeah.
But this isn't all of the games. These, I think there was actually more. At the end of the script, I've basically found like Reddit threads where people have said, "Oh, these are all the games," and there's ones in there that I think I haven't found. So I've also got to say, "Oh, and then all of these." You know what I mean?
Why would you put 10-yard fight is a terrible game?
Oh no, it gets more ridiculous. I mean, there's more funnier ones down here, like Pizza Time, which is like a Burger Time spin-off.
Rip off.
Yeah, never made it. And then obviously, what about a Dr. Seuss game? A
What?
Wipeout F-Zero type game.
Kool-Aid game.
yeah.
Because there was a Kool-Aid game on the Atari.
An NWA
Cloudy
RPG,
Mountain.
anyone?
NWA new
Running
one?
Man
Jesus.
game?
Was that a wrestling one?
Yeah, and obviously that's just me like, what? You know.
Funk.
Catan. Yeah, there's lots. I'm giving away too much of my
Jeez.
video. It's coming.
Yeah. We need to see wanted to see it when it
But
comes
you know
out.
it's happening.
There's only 15 people watching. Don't worry.
Oh, I don't mind.
Yeah, but
I'm sure it'll end up on the subreddit at some point. It's cool.
I don't know. The subreddit doesn't like me very much these days.
Oh, really? Actually,
still
yes.
watch
I
them.
noticed that you are a deleted member on there, actually.
Well, I started the subreddit. It is actually my subreddit.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's
And
quite
then
funny.
what happened was there's a quote unquote official Amico Reddit,
Right.
and that the moderator from there was very upset about our subreddit. So he started a whole Reddit, was it subreddit drama
Mhm.
thread, basically saying that I was a Nazi, white supremacist, Trump supporter who hated women. And then
But
a
you're Hispanic.
yeah, so a lot of the people on my subreddit were very upset because they're leftists and they're like, "Oh no, there's a right-wing guy who's running the subreddit." And so to prevent everyone from leaving, I just stepped down and gave it to the current head mod of the subreddit.
There you go.
That's how you know you were the parent, because you gave it up to save it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've got these as well sent to me. There's a certain section where we talk about the rape games. So I've got these. Wrong way around.
Oh,
Sent
these
to
are
me.
rape games.
Yeah, these are the rape games.
Oh, Switch, Nintendo games.
I've actually got
Those are only some of them.
yeah, those ones there. Yeah, those ones, that's it. They're the collector sets, and they actually come with like stockings and stuff like that in the box.
Yeah.
that they've literally never been opened. I've literally got them for this video. I said to the company, "Hey, you want to send me these? Doing this video, it's probably going to do quite well." Yeah, and they've done that. There's also have I got it here? Oh, it's up. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Panty Party. That comes with a pair of knickers.
Nice.
Sorry, panties. Knickers, is that's not an American term, is it? It's just panties, isn't it? From
Panties.
Yeah.
Panties.
panties.
Are they worn slopes?
They definitely don't fit me. Or I
mean,
Well,
With
there's
pre-worn.
Ninja Kitty.
Pre-worn by a hottie.
pre-worn and then boxed.
Oh,
No,
right. No.
Tommy
there
likes
was other
Christopher
stuff as well.
Films.
Because they're both East Coast Italians fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
He's gonna check. He's gonna go get it.
Far East Coast.
I can see it now. Slopes
He's
went
gonna
on the
snip-
Tony TGD podcast, and he
Are you gonna
started
unbox
flashing
these
knickers.
pants?
Sniffing panties.
There they are.
Ooh.
DJ Slopes holding young ladies' panties live on camera.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And the funny thing is, like, it's not even a rude game. Like, I mean, obviously, you fly around with a pair of panties, but I don't even think there's an age rating on it. It's like, it's no more rude than the fact that, like, you know, my kids might have a book, like, a little, like,
Captain
jokey kiddie
Underpants?
book about- yeah, stuff like that. It's nothing more than that. You literally play as a pair of knickers flying around shooting other pairs of knickers, and it's got like this silly like karaoke song like panty party. It's just silly. And I do wonder if he looks at stuff like this and goes, wow, that's insane, like that would just never be allowed on other systems. Like,
No, he cherry picked like because there is actually screenshots that he sends.
oh, I know, yeah, I've seen him.
It's just cherry picking. He knew what he was saying, and the fact that other people were just letting him say that without any pushback.
And defending on Atari Age,
Yeah.
handsome. Like I do understand what he's going with there, because there is truth to it. The Switch, I even done videos and he commented on them. So obviously, he done his research via my videos a little bit.
It's
there, I
Slope's
suppose.
fault.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, there are games for the Nintendo Switch that are censored for the PlayStation 4. So Sony censors more than the Nintendo Switch, and obviously Nintendo Switch are known as a
but I think
the more
that's
family friendly thing.
That's not true. That's not 100% true.
Well, I mean, it is true. There are games, there are examples that you
I'm
can
going
find.
to again push back.
Push back.
Because in the US they are censored in the US on PlayStation.
Right.
In Japan, they're uncensored. So it's the same game in Japan as it is in the Switch. It's just when it comes to the US Sony censors those games.
Right. But
so just saying that Nintendo censors or doesn't censor and PlayStation does, you're
100%.
getting like 50-50. Like, yes, it does, but at the same time, no, it doesn't in the homeland.
But my example of that is like, yes, censor, but still, regardless of region, because the Amico is going to be a worldwide console, or was going to be.
Yeah.
Careful what I say. But
it was going to launch in 5 countries simultaneously. Biggest launch ever, he said.
It is. I do like the bit in the script in there where he says something about the fact that he's got the guy that helped release the Xbox in Japan to help get the Amico over in Japan, and then there'll be me on camera like, you do know how well the Xbox does in Japan, right?
Yeah.
It's like hated over there. But so yeah. But yeah, regardless, so Sony does censor more than Nintendo, but my argument is this is not you can't go into a game shop and find this. No. This is very weird shit that you have to go and find, and it's hard to find. And I said my example is just because Pornhub exists doesn't mean my kids are never going to use the internet. I'm going to be a responsible adult, and I'm going to make sure I see what I let them look at the right things. You know what I mean? Like, it's that's my comparison.
Well, that's what I told him too, because everyone was like, "Well, the Amico's not going to play any adult games. The other console's evil." I said, "A DVD player doesn't care what DVD you put in there, right? Kids are not watching porn because they own DVD players. They're not watching porn because they have parents that make sure they're not watching porn, right? It's like
surely the easiest thing to do to just get away from all this is just have some kind of child lock, parental lock on the system when you turn it on.
Well, he actually has it. There is a parental lock. It's in.
But what I'm saying is like that's the thing that would just negate all problems.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, if you listen to Tommy would say things like, "Our system's not going to need parental controls, right?"
But that's in the patent.
Yeah, but they had parental controls in the patent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Along with smell-o-vision.
Yeah, so I was like, that's a mixed message, Tommy. He's like, no, it's not. I'm like, you're literally like, we don't need parental controls. And on the website, it says we're going to have really good parental controls. I'm like,
yeah. It's it's a wild ride.
It is.
It really is. It took me for a ride. That's for sure. It's bonkers. I'm just looking down the list of the games.
And Ninja Kid is right. A good parenting will negate all problems. Why he's not on the panel? He's just.
I will say, and I did say to him, so I probably put the bee in his bonnet a little bit with this because I genuinely have helped 4 other parents. Oh, do you not know about the Nintendo Parental Control app? Yeah, go on the App Store, download it, and it's just like. So I do. When I explain that to him, he's like, "See, it's not there for him ready. You have to." You know what I mean? Like. So I do understand where he's coming from when I say that because it's something that I've had to do in my real life. I've had to set up the Nintendo app on my phone. I've had to set it up on my wife's phone and tell other parents, oh, you might want to get the Nintendo app, which is a fucking incredible parental control app. Like I can control every single thing my kid plays on that system.
Yeah.
How they play it on, like they can play on that game, but they can't play online with that game. It's so good. It's so good. And I'm like, no, you can, and it's also brilliant as well. I'm like, yeah, you can go if you do. We have a deal going on that he has to do 10 sets of we have here called which is like maths and stuff like that on his phone. And for every one of those he does, he gets 10 more minutes. So if he wants basically to get another hour, do 6 rounds just to get another hour. And you can add all that in. It's a fucking brilliant parental control app, but it isn't. You don't
I'm
have
so
that
glad we didn't have parental controls when I was a kid.
Fucking tell me about it.
No, we had nothing.
Jamie's right with that, Tony. If you put Jamie's last one up, and Slopes will probably know this as well. The blood code for the Mortal Kombat and the Mega Drive was on the kids show in the UK on Bad Influence. You remember Bad Influence?
The blood code.
Yeah,
was funny.
Yeah.
And that was like it was on CITV, which is like it's a set of kids TV shows all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, and we all turned out okay. Well, apart from me, I'm killing people for a living, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Most of you are okay.
Well, it made me really trustworthy. So that's worked out good for me. No, I remember. I got Mortal Kombat on Christmas Day, and then my parents had played my game sometimes before they gave them to me. You know, like including Aladdin, the Incredible Aladdin with the incredible soundtrack, and
Genesis version, right? The Genesis version.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my copy's up there, and I remember like begging my dad to give me the blood sheet thing, and he'd given it to me before probably dinner on Christmas Day. Like it didn't take long before he gave it to me. And down there you can see right there, that's Night Trap, never going to be released on a Nintendo system.
Oh, Tommy brought that up so many times. The old Nintendo president must be rolling in his grave to see Night Trap.
Night Trap.
Shake Trap. Like,
it ain't a good game, is it?
No, it's not. If Gary was on, he'd be very upset with you saying that. He defends FMV games.
Gary defends everything bad though.
There are some good FMV games, but
let's not hate on people that defend on bad things. Come on.
There he is.
Grayson is
Mr. Ninja Kitty.
Who's the shield in the top right corner?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
You missed all the
getting
action.
old. It's definitely not getting old, man. Keep it coming.
Once Ninja Kitty has a joke, he rides that into the ground.
Really? Mr. Latino discount?
Yeah.
That's not a joke though. That's true. Don't be hating on me because I get cheap food and a lot of it.
I did a joke a couple of years ago. It was a good 5-hour long joke.
Yeah, we've all been laughing ever since. Don't worry.
My job here is done then. My work here is done. I don't know. Fucking 3:18. I'm gonna go, guys. And not just because Ninja Kitty's joined, but
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's it.
Come on, you take off.
That's it, man. I've got to go. I've got to cry myself to sleep that I'm never going to play Kool-Aid Game the Man. Kool-Aid. Fuck me, I'm so tired. Kool-Aid Game 2023 edition.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, dude. It was
It was
fun.
nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks, Ninja Kitty, for coming on last second.
Yeah. Thanks for chasing Slopes away, Ninja Kitty.
No, fair play to you, Slopes. Good to talk to you.
That's all good, man. So how does this work now? Do you just like run this in until like people aren't watching anymore? Or are you actually going to end it as well?
No, we got a few other topics.
You got a few other topics. What
Your
are your
show
other
hasn't
topics?
started. The show hasn't started.
Yeah, technically we haven't even started yet.
We haven't even began.
Oh, are your other topics? Are they like Marvel related and shit?
Yeah. Well, we were going to talk about limited run games. We're going to take an autism test live. Adam Sessler is going crazy lately.
Right.
And then we got some
good limited run games.
Some polls that we do every week. Let's go over those.
Right.
Exciting stuff.
And then we have to talk shit about you after you're not around to defend yourself.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Oh, we've already done that to your face, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can't be much worse, can it?
Yeah.
No. Okay, cool. Appreciate it, peeps.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Catch y'all later. I am
Thanks,
going to bed. I just woke my wife up when I woke up. I was like, I just got to quickly pop on this podcast for 10 minutes. Go back to sleep. And now I'm going to go wake up again. What are you doing?
I was supposed to go an hour ago, so I'm in the same boat. Don't worry.
Are you in the UK?
I'm probably about 25 miles from you. You're London, right?
I'm actually down in Kent.
All right, okay, a bit further then. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, not bad.
Why are you sorry? Don't be sorry.
Never sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm literally right down in the corner. If I jump on the motorway, I'm like 10 minutes away from getting on a fucking like ferry or something to France. I'm like right in the corner.
You can pass by those people that are coming the other way.
So for people that look at the backwards L of the, it's that way for reverse camera. The backwards L of the UK, I'm like there, right down in the corner. That's me. And that's as much as you're going to get for my address. I'm going to go.
All right. Thanks for
Have a
coming
good
in,
night,
Slopes.
dude.
We appreciate it. Have a good night. Good morning, whatever it is over there.
Yeah. See you later, Pete. Bye-bye.
Later, Slopes.
Later.
Leave studio. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Ninja Kitty.
Yeah, you scared him off, man.
I was just about to get into about bad parenting and how Dazed and Carl let their kids watch incest porn and all that stuff.
Hey, I don't
Carl
let-
don't have kids.
Hey, that was all Carl. That was not me. That was
Fast
so
forwarded to
funny.
your stream for like 2 seconds. I'm like, I wonder what they're talking about. Everybody's watching incest porn.
That
Ninja
came
Kitty
out of nowhere.
Ninja Kitty made something. I'm like, what? Like, what the hell?
Oh no, he said you were using the fact that Tommy was with his. I think it was somehow it led into how you were talking about Tommy dated his cousin, and he claimed that you were using that for clickbait.
Ooh, why are you clickbaiting?
And he's using that for like he was upset that wasn't true.
Slow says, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, it's totally
It's like
nothing
going to bed.
else. Don't even. Yeah,
Just go to bed. Forget about this.
it's crazy, Carl. If you knew
It's
him, it would
Hammock's
make sense.
right hand man. So,
Yeah, he's my little buddy.
well,
Is that what you call it? All right, we're gonna go.
Shut
to,
up, Tony. Shut up, Tony.
I was exposed today, so we're gonna go check that out real quick. I have not watched this video. We've been waiting for 2 hours.
I had not.
Oh,
I haven't
geez.
seen it either.
Justy Views is going to expose the frog, and we got Levon Kaysen. So let's see what we got going on here.
these guys white shirt.
Before we get to that, though, I think it's only fair if we ask Ninja Kitty how his week been.
Super busy, crazy, but I'm glad I'm here.
What about you, Hammock? We
all
didn't hear
live.
about your week.
Dazed.
Dazed? Your week?
Wait, what? I'm sorry. I was
He's
reading the
still busy
comments and
with,
completely zoned out. What was the question?
How has your week been, Dazed?
My week has been fabulous. My week is fabulous. I've got the next 2 days off. We've got playoffs start this weekend, so I'm looking forward to laying around watching football. And yeah, it's going to be good. Oh, and I beat a game this week.
Ooh.
And yeah, I you guys know about it, but I'm not going to say what it is yet. I recorded it, and I'm going to work on that video this weekend, and I'm going to put it on Geek Getaway. My first game beaten of the year of my 52 that I'm never going to get to, but at least I'll start.
You'll get to it. I beat one myself. I beat how was it, Pumpkin Jack? Not a great game. Not a great game.
I beat Ninja Gaiden on the NES.
I saw that. What about you, Ninja Kitty? Have you beat any games this week?
Loser.
Ninja Kitty's not here.
That's a no.
He muted. He left.
He's
That's
in
a no.
Discord yelling at Slopes. All right.
Let's watch this
get to
video, man.
Let's get to the video. From Levon Kaysen.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Levon Kaysen, back at it again with another Justy video.
Dope.
Oh, jeez.
Why does he got Metal Jesus' skull? Is Metal Jesus going to expose me?
Is that who that was? I thought that was the Red Skull.
I know Metal Jesus
had his
uses it in the
music.
logo.
He had that music. That was his music, too.
Was it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
His intro.
You have been exposed. Expose. Expose that frog. You've been exposed. The frog. Expose.
Leave it to your pal and speculative journalist Justy Views to show who the frog is. Uh-oh.
Expose, expose, expose. Expose, expose, expose.
Drool
expose,
cup.
expose. You being exposed. Expose, expose, expose.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at you with a video about yours truly. That's right, I'm going to be talking about myself, some of my past work. I'm going to go over it. We're going to discuss it a little, because everybody's been asking me about, some of the things I did in the past. So what did your pal ask to find out who the frog is? Uh-oh.
You being exposed.
Tony, do you have any doctor friends? I have doctor friends.
Exposed, exposed, exposed.
Oh, no, what did Justy stumble across? Uh-oh.
Frog exposed. You being exposed.
When did Evil sing this?
Exposed. He
Probably
probably
one of the
recorded it.
live streams he was doing.
That, or he just recorded it for him. He might have.
Nah, it sounds like the kind of thing he would rant about when he's on his gaming stream. Intoxicated.
Expose the frogs exposed. The frog.
It's got a good beat, though. I like it.
Exposed. The frog.
Make the time to be your friend.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
No. Whoa.
It's too spot on.
Get your face off that screen quickly.
Exposed.
No, I don't know what this. I gotta watch this to make sure.
It's Tony. I've watched it. It's not. There's nothing. If there was anything suspect, I would have.
I don't know. I see someone on the screen that kind of looks like me. I think he's.
You don't know who that is?
If you're a doctor.
It's Tony.
He's also not 400 pounds.
Made a move on me? I don't know, man. I swear to God. I don't know. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. I'm telling you the truth.
It's Tony.
I'm sleeping over his house.
Expose the frog, expose. Expose the frog, expose. You being exposed. Exposed.
What's his wife's name? Is it Deborah?
Deborah. I think it's just Deborah on the show. I don't know if that's his real wife's name.
Oh, Deborah.
That was funny.
Been exposed.
Exposed.
Tony has the real saggy melons. Everyone hates Tony. Everyone hates Chris.
How do we know that Tony isn't Saggy Melons just throwing his voice?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Exposed twice.
Is that the real Saggy Melons, or is that a alt fake?
No, I think that's the real Saggy.
Is it really her?
Jamie C says he beat UN Squadron, Last Resort, Alien vs. Predator, Punisher, Metal Slug 3, and Fatal Fury with his mate co-op on Fightcade, with heavy drunk credit feeding through them all last week off work on a drink bender.
Nice, man. You got a bunch done. Hey. Yep. Good to be back. Nice to see you too.
Saggy missed all the action when Slopes Game Room was here.
Slopes was here, yeah.
Nice 2-hour Slopes interview.
That was awesome. I was not. When I popped in and I saw his face for a second, and then it was like my thing kicked out. I'm like, what the fuck? That was weird.
We're like, oh, Days must have saw Slopes, thought he was in the wrong room. Like, oh.
Yeah, it's like, wait, we're not this big.
I still think he's a wank, but he's a bit less of a wank than what he was at the beginning of this stream.
At least he's here.
Face the music,
coming in.
Yeah, that's what I'm
he's
saying.
into the horn. He's in the hornet's nest, and he's coming out. And he's honestly, I think
Justy was hammering him tight in the chat, right? And,
yeah, he was.
And I appreciate.
I think it'll make. I think it'll make a better video though, like that the way he's doing it. He's like, hey, I got taken for a ride too. Like he'll kind of like give his insight on how he fell for it. And
are you trying to say he's going to do a good job of saving face?
But then that's
I mean,
do in the end,
yes.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't know anybody's pot. Anybody's pot. It's it's possible that anybody could have. I mean, the way
he gets quite a bit of guff in the Discord. I'll say that.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you want to have fun, get Leo on here.
Leo quit YouTube, so he's out there touching grass.
Getting laid.
That was funny.
Getting laid by Mozambican neighbors.
That's good.
Get John Alvarado on now. Maybe in a couple months. All right. So what the hell were we going to talk about?
Those games.
You tell us.
Yeah.
You beat games. Days beat a game.
I beat a game.
Since we were already talking Amico, let's talk Amico forever and hear the only bits of Amico. We didn't get a supercut this week, so I actually had to go find this. This comes in at the 1 hour, 9 minute, and 19-second mark of a 1 hour and 10 minute.
That's why you got no supercut, because it was pointless.
All right. Here's what DJC has to say.
As far as Amico news, I know we are just waiting. We are waiting to hear about manufacturing. That's where we are. I think everybody's kind of aware of that. There's not about a bajillion videos about stuff, right? But yeah, so that's where we're at right now. So if we hear something, then it'll be about that. But we're also going to speak about rarities, rare games, kind of what we did today, the grails. So if you have some pictures.
So that was it. Next week, they're not going to be talking about Amico unless there's news.
I'm not watching.
There won't be. There fucking won't be.
It was so bad, right? It was so fucking bad that Sweet and Tender Hooligan rage quit halfway through, and I'm not kidding.
How the hell do y'all even watch that shit, man? I don't know how y'all hang out there.
Dazed, I was watching it because I was recording it to cut it up, and I fucking regret it.
I know, dude. I just don't see how anybody can watch it. Like, even when the Amico shit was
recorded instead of just
no,
watching
Ninja Kitty. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ninja Kitty, but I did that last week and I missed all the good parts with people getting banned in live time, so I had to do it live.
Yeah, you're doing God's work, Finbar, watching that, because I couldn't do it.
Well, hopefully it gets me into heaven then.
Tony, steer us.
What?
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Where are we going?
He's distracted because Saggy's in the chat, so he's.
I was looking at the other.
Oh, ooh la la.
No, DJC had another video, and I was looking through the transcript to see if he talked about Amico, and he just announced the Friday Amico Infinity thing, and that was it.
Maybe the Amico Forever, they're just friends. They're not actually talking about the Intellivision. It's just they're all Italian friends or buddies.
Yeah. What is Saggy? She's over there talking about farts, sniffing farts with Beefy bites. Beefy, who said that he was going to play Magic the Gathering, never got in.
Did he chicken out?
No, he sent his friend code, but then he never popped in and never.
Did Gary ever show up?
No, he did not. We haven't heard from Gary.
Gary
in a couple of days.
Gary lost, man. Fair and square. Yeah. Documented.
Saggy says she's came here to talk shit, and I'm not paying attention. I'm busy.
Talk some shit.
So that whole slopes thing kind of threw off the whole flow of the show.
Yeah, but it was worth it. I mean, it was good to hear.
I don't know if you guys have been made aware of the limited run debacle that's been going on. Perhaps you've heard about it.
We've heard
what is
many
it?
people on Twitter
being
being outraged.
Many people are outraged. First, they were outraged that limited runs had a conservative customer representative.
Oh my God.
So they complained about that till they fired her. And then when they fired her, people were very upset that limited run games would fire somebody over their beliefs. And then they started digging into the person that fired, the person that started the whole thing. And turns out that person's like a weird possible pedo defender. I didn't really know.
Did that person get fired at least for that? Because it seems like that's getting a pass these days. And that's
no, I think that person doesn't have a job to begin with. So
I
think it's just a weirdo, permanent Twitter weirdo. But with all that happening, a lot of people have decided that they want to cancel their orders from limited run games, and they're finding that they can't cancel. They're not getting their money back. And I think some people are what's the word I'm looking for? Stupid. Because right here on the limited run game website, it literally says there's literally a button. Can I cancel my order? And it says literally in black and yellow. All sales are considered final, but we can process cancellations on a case-by-case basis. There's no guarantee we can cancel your item because we manufacture products based on pre-order quantities. Customers in the EU who request order changes on order prior to EU VAT law changes this year may be subject to pay any differences in tax. Okay, so some people were very upset. They said, well, why can't we cancel? Well, they're not letting us cancel. That's illegal. And they said, well, if you're in the UK, if you're in the EU, you can cancel anytime you want, right? That's the narrative that people are spinning. Except it's not true. Because if you go to the EU information website, Europe, about guarantees and refunds, it says if you bought a product or service online or outside of a shop by telephone, mail order from a door-to-door salesperson, you also have the right to cancel or return your order within 14 days for any reason or without justification. And I can assure you that all the people upset online on Twitter are past the 14-day cooling period because I'm pretty sure they've ordered these things, months in advance from limited run games.
Well, especially if they're making them to order. If they're making them to order and they're partway through production of them, it's fair enough you can't cancel it at that point.
Well, like I say, a lot of these customers that are upset they ordered things like a month ago, 2 months ago, previous campaigns for limited run games. So there's no way they're being able to cancel. They're not in the window. They're not in the time frame. So people getting upset talking about, oh, they didn't know, or limited runs is stealing. Limited runs is not allowing people to cancel their orders because they're thieves or whatever. No, you're just idiots. You should have realized it was all purchases are final. Read the information on the website. Read the fine print, and you'll be fine.
I mean, it's literally in the name of the company, Limited Run Games.
Yeah.
People just like to bitch, don't they? That's why Twitter is such a cesspool.
Well, it's not just Twitter because it's people. I've seen people gearing up to make videos about limited run, not allowing, not allowing people to cancel their orders. Because they're evil liberals. Those evil liberals won't let good conservatives.
Did Smash JT make one?
I think he made a video on limited run games. I don't know what the content was.
Didn't your buddy Retro Complex make one also?
He might have. What was it? I didn't watch the Smash JT video. What was the was he complaining about the cancellations or just the in general?
I have no idea.
I never watched it.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it yet, but I think it was very, very skewed negative towards limited run. So infer from that what you will.
Let me see here. Smash JT. I'm done with limited run games is the name of his video.
Yeah.
God. He's just got to get on the next thing. Jesus.
I know. He doesn't say the word cancel, so apparently he's not on that part of the story yet. So I'm sure he'll have another video coming out soon about limited run not allowing people to cancel their orders because they're evil. No. He can't cancel your orders because you agreed that all sales are final because they make them to order. And in the EU even, they say, hey, if it's something to order, you can't just cancel it at any time. And again, I thought Gary was going to be here because I know this is a hot topic for Gary because he's a big fan of limited run games. And he's a big fan of people not being canceled.
Gary's too upset.
But Gary's let us down again. And then the other thing that happened this week was Adam Sessler was on The Biggest Problem.
Who is Adam Sessler now?
Adam Sessler is the old guy in the middle here who he was on G4 back in the day. He came back with the new G4. He was there when Sexy Frost ranted.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was the one clapping. So he was talking about gamers. He's been on Twitter, being old man yelling at the cloud, talking about gamers being stupid, dumb, unwashable, unlikable, basement dwellers.
Unwashable.
Yeah.
My God.
But he had this to say. But Vito asked him, and they were asking him about Gamergate, ethics, and games journalism. And Sessler basically says that why would you expect games journalists to have any ethics. They're not actually real journalists. Right? They don't even qualify. So, basically it's like, hey, yeah, you can't trust any of the reviews or any of the articles coming out there because they're all shit, and they always were going to be shit. But I do recommend you check out The Biggest Problem. If you're interested in the G4 story, yeah, Noah Jet's right. He's the coked out host from G4. So if you're interested in that, he talks about Frost, about the rant. He wasn't aware of it prior to it happening. He said he would have warned her about all the backlash potential, but he wouldn't have stopped her because he doesn't tell people not to do things.
Yeah,
they didn't ask him about the doxing, but what's that?
She destroyed any chance that was going to be a success.
Oh, he says it never had a chance. That the format
Probably
wasn't going
not.
to work.
Yeah, not today. Things have changed.
Which one of you is playing the game?
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I'm playing game. I'll mute.
It's not me. I was muted. Guys, on that note as well, I'm going to have to cut and run because Slopes took up too much of my time, I think.
All right. Have a good rest.
At least my wife hates him
now. Good night, Finbar.
All right. Catch you later, Days. Catch you later, Magic K. See you later, Tony. Bye, guys.
All right.
Later. No, I'm just lying here on the couch watching football and talking to you. Hello.
And the other thing we were going to do, we were going to look at this autism test. People were asking last week about the test, and I will put the link in the chat if you want to take an autism test to find out how autistic you are.
What did you score?
155. So I'm
right. Very strong evidence
for autism. Yeah.
Do you want me to answer the questions, or are you going to do it?
There's 80 questions. I don't know if you want to.
Jesus Christ!
I was just going to go look at highlight a few of them. So there are questions like, "Am I a sympathetic person?" And they're all the same answers. It's either true now and when I was young, true now only, true only when I was younger than 16, or never.
I'm a sympathetic person. Yes. We don't have to go through the whole damn thing, but if you want.
It says I often use words and phrases from movies and television conversations. This is one of the ones that pisses me off because it's like
everybody does that.
Yeah, it's just like you're just saying funny things.
I do this shit all the time.
So yes, I'm gonna put true always days because he's autistic. I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. I don't think we always know when we've been rude, right? Or is it just me?
Usually you're pretty self-aware about that.
I would say that's never true. I know if I'm being rude.
They're talking about like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, where he insults people.
Yeah, where he's like,
totally not self-aware of what he says.
It's not an insult if it's the truth.
I don't think this is probably an idiotic test though. Like that does seem like that.
Clearly, it is.
Sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly. Yeah, if you do that, you're autistic. I often don't know how to act in social situations. Yep, that's straight up autistic. If you answer that, I can put myself in other people's shoes. Yes, I can, but I don't think that. I have a hard time figuring out what some phrases mean, like "you're the apple of my eye." Yeah, if you can't do that, you're autistic.
Yeah,
I only like to talk to people. You do?
I said they have trouble with. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean these are like okay, I get it.
I focus on details rather than.
I always notice how food feels in my mouth. Oh yeah.
I don't because there's too much drool in my mouth. I can't even feel the food.
Too much lip smacking.
Yeah, I miss my best friends or family when we are apart. No, never. I don't miss anything.
I do. My family. I used to miss my friends when I actually.
Sometimes I offend others. Look at this one right here gets me. Sometimes I offend others by saying what I am thinking, even if I don't mean to. Yeah, I think I.
You do that. Yeah, you do.
I always quote the Soup Nazi. Yeah. Is there a question that asks you, do you hate stupid tests? Peace out. It's 3:42 in Scotland. Good night. All right, take it easy, Jamie.
Later. Hey, I'm going to Ireland here in a couple months.
That question about using movie lines is looking at scripted speech. Some kids have scripted play interactions. Okay, that makes sense. I think maybe it's the way that the question is asked, maybe it's the way it's phrased.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. Well, it depends, right? Are they cheap?
Yeah, I
Am
would
gonna have
never.
to pay for them?
Why would you? I don't know.
Why would you want? What you don't like alone time?
Not in a restaurant. I mean,
What qualifies as a restaurant? Like any place that serves food that isn't your home,
like
right?
Chili's. Like you go to a Chili's and just chill there by yourself.
No, but I would go to like McDonald's.
Well, that's different.
It's a restaurant, right?
No, it's fast food.
No, it's not. So fast food's not a restaurant.
Well, not. I don't think that's. I think that's acceptable to go into a fast food restaurant by yourself because that's normal. But who's going to go to a
It
damn
didn't say
sit-down
fancy. It didn't say fancy restaurant.
Nah, but I think you got to make the distinction because I think it's normal to go to a
I
fast
think
food
normal
restaurant to
people
yourself.
can make the distinction, and autistic people are like they just see the word restaurant and they consider all of them.
Maybe, but I would say that if you're, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you want to do. I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like to me that would be strange to go sit down at an Olive Garden by myself.
Hey, what's up, Willie?
I like the places you go to, Days. Chili's and Olive Garden.
I'm just thinking of names.
He's high class. He's like, I go to
Days
Chili's.
Applebee's.
Days is the most whitest boomer I've ever talked to.
We have shit. I'll be honest. We have
I go to
shit
the
restaurants
Sessler.
around us. We have shitty restaurants. We actually went to a really good Thai restaurant
What was the name?
last weekend. I'm not giving names. I'm trying to give out my location.
Others consider me odd or different.
Yep, that's a yes for Tony.
Thanks for that. I understand when friends need to be comforted.
Okay, now this is me, 19. I've always had this. I'm very sensitive to the way my clothes feel. I cannot fucking wear I can't
You're
wear
like,
sweaters.
ooh, it feels so nice on my skin.
I can't wear it's like I can't wear sweaters like at all. I can't wear itchy clothes, and I have to rip the tags out of my shirts because they drive me insane. Like that is
I
my
just buy the
type
shirts
of,
without the tags.
well, yeah, but sometimes you get one with a tag. And that is my autism is I can't deal with, and that is I think an autistic thing is that you have like problems with feelings. That's what it's talking about, the sensation of food in your mouth. That doesn't bother me, but my skin, I can't fucking handle certain clothes.
Well, here's this one, right? Okay, so number 18 says, I understand when friends need to be comforted. I know when friends need to be comforted, right? I don't understand it. Like, I'm just like, dude, so what? Your mom died. Get over it.
That's an autistic thing because you can't you don't really understand like the empathy and
it's like I know I should be like, wow, this is very traumatic and they're there, but it's just like,
right.
Shit happens. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at a time.
No, that's not. I don't think that's true for you. You do these damn podcasts constantly.
Yeah, but I don't really like. We're not in person. Like, if you guys were all standing
That's not in
here,
person. That's different. Mr. Days here. Question.
Yeah.
You think some of those folks we know that talk tough on the internet would say that same thing to people?
Oh, fuck no.
So. Same thing with people talking to groups.
I tell you, I will. I'll say it to your face. I don't give a shit. But
you'll fold the motherfucker in half. Tell him.
Yeah. Curb stomp that motherfucker.
And that guy's gonna fight back by chasing you with his shirt tag, and you'd be like, "No!
Oh, get away from me with the sweater!"
He's like, "You found my weakness."
Yeah, that is my
or
weakness.
like a Chili's gift card. You'd be like, "Oh my god, I'll do anything."
See, meeting new people is usually easy for me. I don't think so.
It's pretty easy for me.
Is it? You just said you had no friends.
I don't know. I do have friends, but I just like when you get, I don't know. For me, I'm like when I got older and I got my family, I just kind of lost touch with some of my friends because it's like I I'm happy. I'm honestly, I'm kind of a honestly in my real life, I'm kind of an introvert. I like spending time by myself.
just said you
However, I wouldn't do it
except
at
for
a
the
restaurant. I would not do it at a restaurant. But I like doing stuff by myself. I mean, like watching the football game. I'm out here by myself chilling. I like doing things by myself. I don't really play online games with a lot of people. I just
Well,
when I
that
get
question
on
comes up later. So
when I play games, I'm playing usually by myself.
Do you get highly confused when someone interrupts you when you're talking about something I'm very interested in? I don't think I get confused, but more like I get pissed off. Like what the fuck, guys? Let me finish. Like last week when Gary wouldn't shut up when I was trying to make a point that then he then misinterpreted it as what I was saying.
You guys were misinterpreting each other's what y'all were saying.
I take things too literally, so I often miss what people are trying to say. Gary, true now. This one right here. It's very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous.
No, I understand that completely.
Right here, this is for you, Dave. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel very offensive when they touch my skin.
Yes, big time. That is my massive. That's where I'm on the spectrum, is with the tactile feelings of things on my skin.
This one is me right here. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. Yeah. I like doing
I could
things
see that.
a certain way, and then like when shit changes, throws me off, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
I'm like that to a bit degree. I have my routines, certain few routines, and when those get messed up, I tend to get a little irritable, but I can roll with the punches on most things.
This one, 31, is never. I've never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. Slotham says true. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep going until I am finished.
That is absolutely true for you, Tony.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think the next one might be me too. I speak with a normal rhythm. No. At least not online. I have a weird flow. I think as I'm more conscious of what I'm saying, I'm trying to like think.
Sounds too, like number 34 I'm looking at, sounds can kind of bother. Like I don't like going back to a restaurant example, I don't like the sound of like the ambient of just people talking, like a room full of people talking. That kind of fucking bothers me a little bit.
So you like going to a restaurant by yourself with no one there, so it's just you and the waiter?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes it all
Well, I like when I go to a restaurant, I basically want to go there.
Well, that would explain why you're going to Chili's.
I want to eat. I want to go, and I want to eat, and when I'm done eating, I want to leave. I can't fucking stand sitting around at a restaurant like for a while, like afterwards. I hear all the fucking sounds and everything. I just want to leave. I don't like spending a lot of time there.
37. I am an understanding type of person. No, I don't understand nothing.
I am.
38. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. 100% true. They're not real. How can you connect with people that are not real?
I can connect with them. I can. if the movie's done well and it's acted well.
I can understand what I'm supposed to be feeling. I'm like, oh yes, this is supposed to be.
Have you ever cried from a movie?
No.
Really?
It's just a movie. It's not real. It's not that person.
I've cried
really lose
what
anyway.
movies did you cry in?
What was the one?
It wasn't Harry.
Not Lassie. What is the one with the
Bambi,
dog?
right at the beginning.
Old Yeller. Old Yeller fucked me up as a kid. I remember really being upset by that. It depends. I mean, if it's like I could cry from a movie. You know, I mean, I can't think of one in particular, but
I didn't cry. What is there to cry at in Forrest Gump? There's nothing sad in that movie.
Well, when the
a special needs kid has a fantastic life.
It's when it would be when the girl comes back after she's like
She was a
After
bitch. He was.
I
better off
know
without her.
she was used and abused, and then she comes back, Forrest, and then she dies. I mean, that might be the only part that.
That's the sad part. I thought that was the happy ending.
Yeah.
You didn't get stuck with some chick with AIDS and stuff.
Yeah, I know, but I guess that could be. I'm just trying to think of when somebody would have cried. I didn't cry from that, but
Everyone, like in our generation, everyone talks about the never-ending story and crying when the horse, gets pulled under the.
Atreyu, yeah, he fucking lives though.
No, not Atreyu. The horse, when the horse goes under. In that scene where he's in the swamp of sadness.
Atreyu is the horse.
No, Atreyu's the kid. Artex is the horse.
I'm
autistic enough to know that.
Right. You're right. Artex. Okay. He goes under, but then he comes back.
You don't know he's alive till the end of the movie, but when people first saw that, they cried and they were sad.
I remember that part with the when they go through the gate and
With
that
the big titties.
No, yeah, and the dude gets fried and his face is revealed. I remember that freaking me out as a kid, like his fried face.
All right, this one right here, I think, is unfair to men. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. When women are very, very subtle, men don't. We don't know. Or is it just me?
Oh, I can tell. No, I can tell. That's one of my gifts.
When was the last time a girl flirted with you? Taste.
I mean,
and the lady at the Chili's does not count.
No, it actually happens to be a lot more than you would think. It does. I mean,
So when was the last time?
Probably.
Is your wife listening? Don't tell us if your wife.
Exactly. That's why I'm being a little.
When he went to visit his sister-in-law, it's
like down in Alabama. Yeah, I don't know.
Was she really flirting with you? Because are you one of those guys who's not self-aware and say you go to the strip club
and you think everyone that is not me?
Like she's talking to me.
No. I can tell. It happens.
And was it a real life or internet? Because when the bots are talking to you, it's not real.
No, I don't.
I know some of our friends get confused there.
I don't spend much time on the internet.
Tommy's going autistic in the chat. He says his mom died. His son loved him unconventionally. I think he means unconditionally, not unconventionally.
Unconventionally. Oh God, that's about the incest porn.
And Bubba died. See, I don't. Lieutenant Dan had his life ruined. His son was
Lieutenant Dan.
I don't know. That probably wasn't even Gump's real son. That's true. I always question. I think it would have been funnier if it was a little black kid, and then Forrest is so dumb. It's just like, yeah, that's my kid.
That would have been.
That'd be Me, Myself, and Irene.
That's a good movie, though.
That'd say Me, Myself, Irene, or Me, Myself, and Dean.
Oh, jeez.
That's funny.
I like to talk things over with my friends. No. Not really. 44 is definitely me. I cannot tell if someone is interested or bored with what I am saying.
I can tell.
I hope you guys are interested in what I've been saying for the last 2 hours and 52 minutes. I really can't tell. Tom says, yeah, unconditional love.
Unconventional love.
Yeah, that was a little bad, Tommy.
Little Freudian slip.
What else we got going here? It can be very hard to read someone's face, hand, and body movements when they are talking.
No, I'm very good at that.
I try to be helpful as I can when other people tell me their personal problems. No.
I do.
I'm just not interested. I try to be interested. I know I should. But it's really hard.
I did some counseling for a brief time in my life, so I'm decent at that.
I've been told I have an unusual voice. I'm not sure what to answer here because you guys
Ray Romano.
That's what I'm saying. You guys all say
Kermit.
But I don't think that's what they mean.
Yeah, well, they do.
Oh, it's definitely the voice.
It's definitely the voice, Tony. That's another check mark for your spectrum.
Sometimes a thought or subject gets stuck in my mind, and I have to talk about it, even if no one is interested in.
Yeah.
I do. I
It's
get
called
like
Gabbing
that
with
too
Geeks.
sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I was like that with the Amico with people in my life. Like I couldn't stop talking about it, and everybody's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Okay, so it says I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things
Uh-oh.
with my.
No.
No, not that. I do often. I scratch. I got what they call a heroin scratch. You know, like heroin junkies.
Yeah,
they scratch.
yeah.
I do that, and I've never done drugs.
It's the meth scratch.
You've never
Crystal
even
meth
smoked.
scratch.
Have you? You've surely smoked pot.
No, I haven't.
Wow.
I haven't either.
And then sometimes I
All right, you guys, when we're getting together, you guys are doing it just in front of me so I can see how y'all act.
Sometimes I rub my fingers together, like when I'm standing on a bus or something.
You have a twitch?
Yeah, it's weird.
Or a tick? A tick?
And I know I'm doing it, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's just like, but it's comforting. So I think I'm a little autistic there. I've never been interested in what most people I know consider interesting. I like to think I'm contrarian, but maybe I'm just autistic. Like when I see a lot of people interested in something, I'm like, I don't. This is
That's how I feel like with fucking cars. Like people that talk about cars and motorcycles, I cannot fucking stand.
Or sports.
I mean, sports I love, but like when people talk about motorcycles, I'm just like, ugh.
53. I think this is a no for me. I am considered a compassionate type of person.
Yes.
I am.
He is a compassionate person.
I think I'm nice, but I don't know if I'm compassionate. Right? Like I know I should be nice, so I do nice things. Right?
If you don't you already answered that. That's basically asking the question in another way, like where you said earlier that you don't like when you said someone's family member dies, you're like, get over it. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that. Like I'm self-aware enough not to say it.
No, I know, but you said
you're
thinking it. Yeah.
It's difficult for me to work and function in groups. I mean, it's not difficult for me. It's difficult for the other people in the group. Like, God damn it, Tony. Talking to people about Amico is like trying to explain Chris Chan. Yeah. Uh-oh. Exposed again. I think Ray Romano said he was on the spectrum and OCD. He would punish himself for bad thoughts and stuff, starve himself.
Wow.
That's weird.
It's weird.
When I'm talking to someone, it is hard to change the subject. If the other person does so, I can get very upset and confused. Well, I mean, if I'm not done talking about the thing, we're not moving on, right?
Right.
Does that make me autistic?
Apparently.
Sometimes I have to cover my ears to block out painful noises, like vacuum cleaners or people talking too much.
Yes, me.
I don't block out. I don't like cover my ears, but I hate the sound of a vacuum cleaner. It is like the worst.
So you are
sound.
a cat.
And it's vacuum cleaners and hair clippers. Like when you're like, oh my God, that's so
that's
annoying.
soothing to me when I'm getting like hair clippers. Like I love sitting in the chair for a haircut.
I hate it.
The clippers are soothing for you?
Yeah. It's like,
that noise is soothing for my wife also.
Yeah. I love that sound.
Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. For instance, when I hurt myself or burn my hand on stove. This is yes, but I crushed my hand and I like really didn't hurt, and I've broken.
There's a difference
bones.
between having a high tolerance for pain and.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and being autistic.
Do I have a high tolerance for pain, or just like autistic? I've cut myself. Like I got stabbed in the leg, right? Remember when I told you the stab in the leg story? And it didn't hurt. I was just like, okay, I got stabbed in the leg.
There's a way you can test if you have a high pain tolerance. You get like
you stab yourself in the leg.
Yeah, there's one
get a knife,
without doing anything crazy, but you get like a bucket of ice water and you put your arm in it, and it's supposedly if you can keep it in there for 2 minutes, then you have a high pain tolerance or something like that. Some kind of time limit. I don't remember what the time
Either
limit
that or
is.
else you're good at doing challenges for bets and still be in a ton of
Well,
pain.
what's the difference between, okay, so what if I put my hand in the bucket, right? And it hurts, and I know it hurts, but I just don't take my hand out.
Well, that's a tolerance. You can tolerate the pain. That's what the whole thing is. It's just a different. Some people cannot tolerate pain.
No, for this question, because if you were to do something like if you put your hand on an element,
You just don't feel it as much.
You won't do it. Some people, when they're autistic, they don't realize they're burning their hands and they just keep doing it.
Is that you, Tony?
No,
I realize I'm burning my hand. I'm just like,
but he doesn't just leave it there. I assume.
no. My hands are nice and soft, like a woman. It's like I don't do any work. Everyone always makes fun of me because my hands are so nice. But when talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it's my turn to talk or listen. I am considered a loner by those who know me best. Why does this make you autistic or not?
Because they're thinking that you don't really interact with people.
Maybe I just don't like people because people are shit.
People, I'm pretty selective for the people I want to talk to too. 'Cause a lot of people annoy me.
Right here, I like things to be exactly the same day after day, and even small changes in my routine upset me. Okay, so it's not exactly the same, right? But yeah, I get up at a certain time. I go to work at a certain time. I come home. I eat lunch at a certain time. I take a piss at a certain time.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
At 7 o'clock every morning, I take a piss. Well, because where I work, I don't have an opportunity. Like I can't just walk off what I'm doing. So at 7 o'clock is the last opportunity before everything starts getting busy. So at 7 o'clock, I have to take a piss, or else I'm not going to be able to piss for like 5 hours.
That's when we read the diapers. So some places they do because they don't get a chance for a break.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I could be like, "Hey, I'm going to go," and have someone cover for me, but it's just like I don't want to bother anybody.
I heard that at Amazon, they're like so strict on their time that a lot of people go shit. They don't bother washing their hands and they leave because they have to get back, and they're touching everyone's packages.
Noah Jetty says, slowly start to boil the ice water like a frog.
Yeah.
That's why you're 155. Yeah. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. Oh, no, not a mystery.
Nah, dude, you socialize.
Oh, yeah, let's see. If I'm in a place where there are many smells, textures, to feel noises, or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. I don't like when there's a lot of like people talking or like.
That's how I am. I don't like a lot of light. Like I cannot stand overhead lights. Like I hate like light above me. I like it lamps and stuff, like ambient lighting.
Yeah, I like to be by myself as much as I can.
All by myself?
Sort of. I mean, I'm selective.
I like that. I like being by myself a lot. I like being by myself, or I like being with my family.
Yeah, that would be here. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tolerate things I dislike, like smells, textures, sounds, or colors.
I'm like that a bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like not 100%. Like sometimes I'll be like, no, like turn that damn vacuum off.
I can't tolerate the stuff like that, like the sweaters and stuff, but I can tolerate other things.
I don't like to be hugged or held. Sort of.
I like to be.
Like by strangers. Like, do you like strangers to hug you?
No, fuck no. I don't want strangers even near me, like touching me. I can't stand
That's what I'm
that
saying.
shit.
Like,
but no, it's like, but your family, like it's not. I don't think it's who hugs a stranger. Like I think it.
There are people that are just huggers. They're like, hey,
yeah,
what's
weirdos.
Up?
Freaking
like,
weirdos.
Like, you ever work in an office and they're like, hey, and they're like, how was your weekend? And like the lady hugs you. You're like, what the fuck?
That doesn't happen.
I don't like.
I
don't like that shit.
Maybe it's just because I'm sexy. They just want to hug me.
No, they're just trying to like pickpocket you.
Maybe. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route, or I can get very confused or upset. Not upset,
No,
but like
no.
Sometimes I like Like, wait a minute, like, am I going the right way? Like for a half, like not for long, but like a half a second, like sometimes I'll ride the bus, and you know how like it gets dark earlier because of stupid daylight savings.
Yeah, it sucks.
So then sometimes, like when I'm not paying attention, I'll look up and like still look familiar. Like, oh, am I on the right? Like, oh shit! And then okay, because like it's dark or it's like light. It's like I'm not used to seeing certain things. But I don't know if that makes me autistic. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. Yes.
No.
I have no idea what
Not
you guys
for me.
expect from me. I do this show every week, and you guys expect shit, and I don't know. Tony needs to hug it out with DJC. No. What are we watching? We're watching us go over some questions on an autism test. We're listening to why Tony has been confirmed autistic. Yeah, sort of. People tell me that I give too much detail. That's definitely true. I am often told that I ask embarrassing questions. I'm going to go with you. I tend to point out other people's mistakes.
Boom.
Never. I have never done that.
Constant.
Never in the history of forever.
Score. You
Well,
are autistic.
Yeah, I didn't fill them in, but I did put the in the chat. I put the link. I'll put it on the if I remember, I'll pin a comment if you guys want to take the autism test yourselves to see how autistic you are. Now, with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and look at the polls for the week. Yeah. And if anybody can tell me what happened to Gary, that'd be really, really fantastic. Also, I don't think I'm going to be streaming games 5 days a week. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy streaming games. But sometimes I feel like I've run out of things to talk about, right? Like, oh, if I talk about this now, then I'm not going to talk. I don't want to talk about it again on Saturday. So there's like a balance, between how much I can share during the week. So I think 3 nights a week might be the best. I got the lunar eyepiece. What? What are you talking about? I have to patch my games. I got a Garfield Famicom patch and a Cobra Kai one. What are you talking about, Evil? Come on, Tony, just steal my jokes. Nah, wouldn't be prudent. Can't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. All right, this is going to upset Days, but is retro gaming just a fad?
I answered that, and I put nope.
I think it is.
Nah. It's like listening. It's like listening to music. I mean, it's listening to like old music a fad? No.
Yeah, they're called hipsters.
No. Nah. It's not a fad.
I think for people like you who grew up with those games, right? I think it's like you're going back. There's nostalgia, but for like kids nowadays, we're like, look how cool I am. I'm playing 8-bit games.
Well, there's
guys.
a lot of some people are like that, but there's a large group of people that have gone back and enjoy it. It's the same thing. Like it's like with movies or with music. Like you go back and you discover things. I don't think it's really a fad.
Yeah,
I think
Tony's
it's
wrong.
No,
Tony's wrong. It's just he lost
a discovery
of for once.
It's a discovery of things, but I don't think it's like somebody's not going to.
Well, when people go back and watch old movies, they watch the hits, right? When people go back and play old games, they play everything, even the shit.
No, they don't.
I've seen people.
Well, some people do.
Gary does.
Yeah, that's because
Gary's
autistic. What do you expect?
Good point. All right. So no, 73% said no. 18% said yes for the people not alive back then. 9% said yes. So it looks like the no's have it. All right. 3 days ago, who won the Magic the Gathering argument? And only 38 people voted on this. Surprisingly, wasn't a very popular question. 37% said I won, and 63% said not Gary. Gary did not win the argument. So there you have it. 100% of the people said Gary did not win. All right. So the members chat, we have like over 25 members, but only 6 people voted. Very disappointed in you guys. Would you members like a channel member watch along of movies and TV shows? 67% said yes. 33% said no.
Can you do that? Watch movies?
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, I meant like on YouTube. How do you do that without getting...
Well, the members would be watching it, and then the people watching the stream would just be hearing our reactions, talking about the movie. If the movie was copyrighted, if it was a copyright-free movie or something, then we could all just watch together. Because
like TikTok is the fucking Wild West. You can just stream whatever the fuck you want on there, and they don't care.
Yeah. It was, just an idea.
I thought it'd be fun. I think that would be fun. I would do that.
All right. Are you going to try to do the best beat 52 games in a year challenge? 65 votes. Only 17% of you are real gamers willing to try to beat 52 games in a year. 83% said no. Very disappointed. And then due to technical difficulties, there was no day stream. That was Sidekick Max calling me up on Friday morning, telling me he forgot some of his wires for his guitar. Because my child, who's very autistic like me, somehow does not get all his shit ready before the day before so we can go to school and just leave. No, at 6:30 in the morning, he's trying to get everything in those fucking bags.
See, I think that is not autistic. I think an autistic person would be like all prepared and all pissed and like upset if like something was missing at the last second or.
Well, he was upset. That's why he called me, and I had to.
Well, I meant like
bring the thing that he was missing.
But he was upset because he was just being like a procrastinator. Like I would think an autistic person is the opposite of a procrastinator. They'd be like a.
Oh, it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum.
Uber prepared.
Balling Bob Russ says, I want to watch stream shitty racing games. I think Canadian Gamer has that covered already. All right, so that was the show this week, 3 hours, a nice tight 3 hours. 2 of that was DJ Slopes, who's definitely going to get his name put in the title when I upload this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, Tommy says, nah, Chris Chan was never prepared. See? So there you go.
Yeah, we need the clickbait slopes in the title, definitely.
Anything else, guys? Anything you want to talk about that we haven't covered?
Well, this football game I'm watching is pretty incredible. I'll tell you that. I know you don't like sports, but quite a comeback happening right now in Jacksonville.
What's the score?
28-30. And the Chargers were up like 4 scores earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why do you care about football? You're Canadian. Don't you got your
He
own
likes
league?
his team destroyed the Seahawks today.
Sure did.
That was quite the win.
I didn't know Ninja Kitty had a team.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Hell yeah.
That's my second favorite team outside of the Falcons.
I think sports is lame. Lame as fuck.
It's because you're autistic.
That's because you're too autistic to follow it.
It's not the following it. Here's my problem with sports. Okay.
What is it?
It's the same problem I have with like when people watch other people play games, and which is why I don't understand why anybody watches me play games. It's like, why would I watch something when I could just do it, right? Like,
because you're watching the best. It's a difference between if you go down and watch a bunch of
it's like porn. Why would you watch porn when you could just fuck?
Well, some people don't.
I'm watching the best. I gotta get pointers and like no.
Well, I can answer that question for you, Tony, because maybe some of your relatives don't want to do that with you. The incest porn. Everyone Googles it or whatever.
I don't think everyone Googles that. No.
Oh, Carl might be wrong then.
No, he said the sports indeed suck. That's what I'm saying.
I just see for me, sports worth. I grew up watching sports with my father, and
I did too. My dad loves baseball. My brother loves baseball too. He used to drag us to
No,
baseball games.
He said sports. Baseball is not a real sport.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But like my dad and I, like a lot of times, I don't know how you guys had relationship with your dad, but my dad and I clashed a lot growing up. Shut up, Ninja Kitty. But we clashed a lot. There was a lot of things we didn't agree on, and sports was always something that we could talk about, and we shared a passion with Georgia football,
You and your dad
Atlanta
shared passion?
sports, about sports. Guys, man,
You're the one talking about shit.
I swear to God.
Where is Blinded? Gary, Blinded, and Bob. No idea.
We haven't. Blinded hadn't been around for a while.
Yeah, Blinded apparently did his own stream. I forgot. I wasn't subscribed to his other channel. I'm subscribed to his main channel. Is the channel that has his name, his real name. I'm subscribed to that channel. I wasn't subscribed to the Blinded Braille channel. And apparently he did a stream the other day, and I didn't even know about it.
He has a new show.
Yeah. Gary, he hasn't been around ever since we called him out on Magic. And Bob, he keeps like falling asleep. And like he'll stream a bunch of games.
Well, he was sick. He was kind of sick for a little while.
He said, why would you watch wrestling? Because wrestling's not real. It's not a real sport. It's like watching a movie. I could watch a movie.
That's the thing that's great about sports is it's
not
unpredictable. It's unknown. Like it's exciting, especially if you had.
Why
like
is it
a
exciting?
team,
Explain how it's exciting.
because you don't know what's going to happen, and you have your team that you root for. If you don't have a team, you're not going to like sports. You have to have a team that most likely you're going to.
Okay, how do I pick a team?
It's too late now. Probably you just.
He's
It's
in Chicago,
something you.
so he has the Bears. How good are they this year?
The Bears suck. They got the first number 1 overall pick because their record was so shit. But it's more of a thing. Like you grow up, you like. Both my parents went to the University of Georgia. They met there, so it's like I've been a diehard Georgia fan, and then it's like it's exciting because you don't know what's going to happen. It's like you're watching your team, and it's just like I don't know. I don't know how else to compare it. I don't know what else to compare because
if you can't explain it, then
it could kind of be like if you like your favorite superhero character or something does something bad, does something badass. Like your favorite superhero character does something badass in a movie, and you're like, yeah, you're like rooting for it. It's the same shit with sports.
We already established that I can't connect with movie characters. So.
Yeah, but you like.
I like
know
things.
you.
Yeah, but I'm not like, yeah, fucking Hulk just smashed him. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool.
I don't know.
Like, what do I care if a team wins? Like, I don't get anything.
Because it's your team. That's the thing. You get to talk shit to everybody else's team. That's what you get. You say, ha, you suck. We're awesome.
But I'm not awesome because I'm not playing.
It's a shared community.
Tony's a fun guy to hang out with. That's what I'm saying. I'm a wet blanket, I've been told. I don't get the whole sports thing. I'm not playing. I have no ownership in the team.
Oh, why the fuck didn't they run the ball?
I have no idea. Superheroes don't beat their wives or girlfriends. Yeah, sports players do.
There are some of that in there, but yeah, I don't like that. I do hate that part of sports. Is when
Raiders fans are always accepting new people. I have a funny feeling that this is you trying to be sarcastic, Tom. So I don't know. But I think that's it. 3 hours and 18 minutes. I think we're good. It was a solid show. Thank you once again to DJ Slopes for coming in. Thanks to Finbar for being here on time. So we can start the show, and it wouldn't be just me being autistic by myself. And thank you, Hammock Man and Ninja Kitty, for popping in and chasing off DJ Slopes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Other than that, love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.